The greatest secret ever kept from humanity is not hidden in a government vault. It is not buried under the sands of Egypt. It is not written in a lost scroll that only the chosen can read. The secret is hidden in the one place you would never think to look. It is hidden behind your own eyes. If I told you that you have been worshiping a stranger, would you believe me? If I told you that the God you have been praying to, the figure in the sky, the cosmic manager, the distant judge, does not exist in the way you have been taught? For decades, you have directed your energy outward. You have looked at the stars and felt small. You have looked at the world and felt powerless. You have waited for a deity outside of yourself to grant you permission to be happy, to be wealthy, to be loved. And in doing so, you have turned your back on the only true creative power there is. You have been looking for God in the spectacle, but God was waiting in the substance of your own mind. The title of today's revelation is, Your Imagination is the One True God. This is not a metaphor. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the literal, fundamental, mechanical truth of reality. And once you see it, once you truly recognize who is looking out from behind your eyes, you will never bow to a circumstance again. Let us dismantle the great lie. We are raised to believe in a separation. There is God up there, holy and perfect, and there is man down here, flawed and weak. We are taught that life happens to us, that we are corks bobbing in an ocean of fate, hoping the waves will be kind. But Neville Goddard, interpreting the ancient wisdom of the scriptures, revealed a truth that changes everything. He taught that God and man are one. God became man, that man might become God. The creative power of the universe, the power that flung the stars into the void and organized the atoms of your body, did not leave you. It became you. It actually is you. Specifically, it is your own wonderful human imagination. When you say, I am, you are declaring the name of God. Moses asked the burning bush, Who shall I say sent me? And the voice replied, I am that I am. It did not say, I am a king or I am a force. It simply said, I am. That is your name. Before you say, I am a woman, I am tired, I am poor, or I am lonely, you first say, I am. That sense of being, that raw awareness, that is God. Now, the logical mind resists this. It says, that is blasphemy. I am just a person. I have bills. I have back pain. I am not God. This is the mask speaking. This is the outer man talking. But who is listening? Who is the silent witness behind the chatter? That is the inner man. That is the imagination. Consider this. Nothing in your world exists that was not first imagined. Look at the chair you were sitting on. Before it was wood and fabric, it was an image in the mind of a carpenter. Look at the clothes you are wearing. Before they were thread and cotton, they were an idea in the mind of a designer. Look at the buildings, the cars, the laws, the nations. All of them, every single one, began as an invisible act of imagination. Imagination is the womb of reality. But you say, sure, humans create things, but who created the circumstances of my life? I didn't imagine this debt. I didn't imagine this heartbreak. And here is the hard truth, the truth that requires courage. Yes, you did. Not consciously, not on purpose, but you imagined it through your fears. You imagined it through your inner conversations. You imagined it through your reactions. Neville taught that your life is nothing more than your imaginal acts pushed out. When you spend all day mentally arguing with a coworker, imagining what you should have said, feeling the anger rise, you are writing a script. And the universe, which is the faithful servant of your imagination, takes that script and directs the actors. The next day, the coworker is more difficult. The argument happens, and you say, "See, I knew they were difficult." But you created the difficulty. You planted the seed in the soil of your imagination, and the world bore the fruit. This is terrifying at first. It means there is no one to blame. But if you can stay with me, if you can push past the guilt, you will see that this is the ultimate liberation. Because if you created the mess with your imagination, you can clean it up with your imagination. If your imagination is God, then your imagination is the operant power. It does not bargain, it does not ask permission, it creates whatever you seek to identify with. Most of us use this power destructively. We are unconscious creators. We are like children who found a loaded gun and are firing it wildly at the walls. We worry, which is negative prayer. We replay past traumas, which resurrects them. We assume the worst. And because God is faithful, God gives us exactly what we imagine. To awaken is to take the gun out of the child's hands. To awaken is to stop imagining what you fear and start imagining what you desire. But what is imagination? It is not just visualizing a picture. It is not closing your eyes and seeing a red apple. Imagination is spiritual sensation. It is entering a state. It is the ability to travel in time and space without moving your physical body. Right now, physically, you are sitting in a room looking at a screen. But in your imagination, you can be anywhere. You can be on a beach in Bali. You can smell the salt. You can feel the sun. You can hear the waves. To the outer man, this is a daydream, a hallucination. But to the inner man, to God, this is a reality. And if you persist in that imaginal act, if you dwell there, if you make it natural, your physical body will be compelled to move across the world to align with that reality. This is the law. The world is a mirror. It has no will of its own. It creates nothing. It only reflects. You are the projector. The world is the screen. If you do not like the movie playing on the screen, you do not attack the screen. You do not yell at the characters. You do not try to scrub the blood off the canvas. You change the film. You change your assumption. So why is this video titled The One True God? Because as long as you believe there is a power outside of you, you will be a slave. If you believe money is the power, you will serve money. If you believe medicine is the power, you will serve sickness. If you believe other people are the power, you will be a people pleaser. If you believe in a God who judges you from a cloud, you will live in fear. Neville invites you to the ultimate heresy, which is the ultimate truth. There is no secondary cause. There is only one cause, your own wonderful human imagination. When you realize this, you stop begging. A queen does not beg. A queen commands, and she commands not by shouting, but by assuming. She assumes the state of the wish fulfilled. Let's look at the pearl of great price. In the Bible, there is a parable of a merchant who finds a pearl of great value. He goes and sells everything he has to buy it. Neville tells us that pearl is your imagination, but the price is high. You must sell everything. What must you sell? You must sell your belief in outside powers. You must sell your belief in luck. You must sell your belief in astrology, in the economy, in your genetics, in your past, in your trauma. You must give up your trust in anything outside of your own consciousness. You cannot keep a little bit of belief in fate just in case. You must go all in on the truth that you are the creator. That is the price. And until you pay it, you will be a divided house. You will try to manifest in the morning and then cry over the news in the afternoon. You will try to be God while acting like a victim. So I ask you right now, are you ready to pay the price? Are you ready to stop serving two masters? If you are, make the declaration. Go to the comments below and simply write, I am the operant power. Do not write it for the algorithm. Write it to silence the doubter in your own mind. Make it a physical act of claiming your throne. Drive that stake into the ground. Good. Now that you have declared it, how do we worship this true God? We worship by exercising Him. We worship by daring to assume the best for ourselves and others. Every time you say, "I am healthy," when your body feels sick, you are worshiping the true God. You are trusting the invisible over the visible. Every time you say, "I am wealthy," when the bank account is zero, you are exercising your divinity. You are calling things that are not as though they were. This requires a mental diet. You would not feed a high-performance racehorse garbage. Why do you feed your imagination garbage? Why do you feed it news stories of disaster? Why do you feed it gossip? Why do you feed it memories of your ex? Every time you consume these things, you are telling God, "Create this for me." Stop it. Become a guardian at the gate of your mind. Treat your imagination with the reverence you used to say for a church altar, because it is the altar. It is the place where reality is forged. I challenge you to an experiment. I challenge you to test this God. Neville always said, "Do not believe me, test it." Take one desire, just one. Maybe it is a text message, maybe it is a sum of money, maybe it is a specific compliment from a friend. Don't make it too big right now, or your logical mind will crush it. Make it something lovely. Tonight, in bed, shut out the senses. Ignore the dark room. Ignore the heavy blanket. Go into your imagination. Construct a short scene that implies you have received this thing. If it is money, imagine your hand holding the check. Feel the paper. See the name. If it is a text, see the screen, read the words, feel the smile on your face. Loop this scene. Do it over and over until it feels real, until it feels natural. And then fall asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you wake, watch. Watch the bridge of incidents unfold. Watch how people move, how circumstances shift, how the coincidences pile up to bring that imaginal act into the physical world. When it happens, and it will happen, you will have found the pearl. You will realize that you are not a body with a soul. You are a soul that has assumed a body. You are the dreamer of the dream. There is no one to change but self. There is no one to pray to but the I am within. There is no empty sky. There is only the fullness of your own consciousness. Stop looking for the Savior. Look in the mirror. Look deeper than the skin. Look into the eyes. The one looking back is the one you have been waiting for. If you are ready to accept this responsibility, if you are ready to put down the victimhood and pick up the crown, then subscribe to this channel. We are building a sanctuary for the sovereign woman, for the woman who knows that she is the operant power. Turn on the notifications, not to hear me, but to remind yourself of who you are. You are the author. You are the architect. You are the cause. Your imagination is the one true God. There is no other. I am she who assumes. And so are you. There is a specific feeling that haunts us when we desire something great. It is the feeling of distance. We look at the life we want, the relationship, the wealth, the health, the freedom, and it feels far away. It feels like a destination on a map that we have not yet reached. It feels like a structure we have not yet built. And because it feels distant, we panic. We look at our hands and see that they are empty. We look at the calendar and see that time is passing, and we conclude that we have work to do. We think we must pick up the bricks and the mortar. We think we must hustle, strive, and manipulate the world to construct this future that does not yet exist. But this is the great deception of the three-dimensional world. This is the lie of linear time. The truth, the profound, terrifying, and liberating truth taught by Neville Goddard is that you are not an architect building a house. You are not a traveler journeying to a distant land. You are a sleeper, awakening to a reality that is already sitting in the room with you. The house is already built. The journey is already over. The version of you who has the love, the money, and the peace is not in the future. She exists right now. She is as real as the version of you listening to this voice. The only difference is that you are not currently looking through her eyes. The title of today's contemplation is Creation is Finished. And if you can truly grasp this, if you can let this sink past your intellect and into your bones, you will never try to manifest anything ever again. You will simply select it. Let us begin with the foundation. Scripture tells us in Ecclesiastes, that which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been, and God requireth that which is past. It tells us in Genesis that on the seventh day God rested because the work was finished. What does this mean psychologically? It means that the universe is not a blank canvas waiting for you to paint on it. It is a completed masterpiece containing every possible variation of paint, every possible scene, every possible outcome. Neville often used the analogy of a film reel. Imagine a movie that is fully edited and sitting in the can. The beginning, the middle, and the end are all present at once on the reel. The hero is in the dungeon in frame 5000, and the hero is on the throne in frame 5000. Both exist simultaneously. When you watch the movie, you experience it in a sequence. You see the dungeon, then the escape, then the throne. But the end did not come into existence when you watched it. It was there the whole time, wound up on the reel, waiting for the light of the projector to shine through it. Your life is that film reel. But here is the twist. You are not just the character in the movie. You are the projectionist, and you are the light. Every possible version of your life already exists in the fourth dimension. There is a version of reality where you made different choices. There is a version where you are alone. There is a version where you are happily married. There is a version where you are bankrupt. There is a version where you are wealthy beyond measure. These are not potential futures. These are solid existing realities in the landscape of eternity. They are finished states. When you desire something, you are not fantasizing about a fiction. You are seeing a glimpse of a reality that already exists. Desire is not lack. Desire is communion. It is your imagination, your inner connection to God, whispering to you, look at this frame of the film. This is yours. This is available. If the thing you wanted did not already exist, you could not want it. You cannot desire what is not there. The very fact that you can imagine it is proof that it is real. So why do we struggle? Why do we feel so exhausted? Because we are trying to create what is already finished. Imagine you walked into a high-end department store. It's filled with beautiful clothing. Every size, every color, every style is hanging on the racks. You want a red dress. Do you walk into the store with a sewing machine, a bolt of fabric, and a needle and start stitching together the dress in the middle of the aisle? Do you sweat and cry and beg the store manager to help you manifest the dress? No, that would be insanity. The dress is already there. It was finished before you walked in. Your job is not to manufacture the dress. Your job is to select it, to find it, to take it off the rack, put it on, and walk out wearing it. Manifesting is not manufacturing. It is selection. But most of us spend our lives sitting on the floor of the department store, crying over a pile of thread, trying to stitch together a life, unaware that the finished product is right hanging behind our heads. You have been trying to force the world to change. You have been trying to force people to love you, force money to come, force your body to heal. You are acting as if the solution doesn't exist yet, and you have to make it happen. And this effort implies that you do not believe it is finished. If you truly knew that the version of you who is happily married already exists right now in this very moment, waiting for you to slip into her skin, would you be anxious? Would you be checking your phone? Would you be plotting how to get a text back? No, you would be calm. You would be confident. You would realize that the only distance between you and her is a shift in attention. This brings us to the concept of states. Neville taught that we are all travelers moving through infinite states of consciousness. A state is a body of beliefs, a set of reactions, a specific worldview. Poverty is a state. Wealth is a state. Loneliness is a state. Love is a state. You are not your state. You are the immortal being, the operant power passing through the state. Just as a traveler passes through a city, if you are in a city called London, you see red buses, you hear Big Ben, you feel the rain. If you travel to a city called Paris, you see the Eiffel Tower, you hear French, you eat croissants. London did not disappear just because you left. It is still there, but you are no longer activating it. You are no longer conscious of it. Right now, you may be residing in a city called Unwanted. In this city, the streets are paved with rejection, the buildings are built of insecurity, the people you meet confirm that you are not enough. You hate this city, you want to leave. But instead of traveling to the new city, you try to rebuild this one. You try to paint the buildings, you try to change the street signs, you try to fix the unwanted state. You cannot fix a state. A state is complete, it is finished. The state of unwanted will always be the state of unwanted. It was created that way. It creates that specific reflection. To change your life, you do not fix the state, you move. You pack your bags, your attention, your focus, your feeling, and you move your residence to the city called Chosen. In the city of Chosen, the architecture is different. The air smells different. In this state, love is natural. In this state, you are the prize. This city already exists. You do not have to build it. You just have to inhabit it. This is what creation is finished means. It means you can stop trying to fix the old you. The old you is a finished state. Leave her alone, let her sleep, and simply wake up as the new you. Now, the logical mind hates this. The logical mind says, but look at the facts. Look at my bank account. Look at the empty side of the bed. These are real. I can't just ignore them. But I tell you, the facts of today are just the dead memories of the state you occupied yesterday. The world you see with your eyes is an echo. Have you ever looked at a star? Science tells us that the light from that star took millions of years to reach us. The star might not even be there anymore. You are looking at the past. It is the same with your 3D reality. Your bank account, your relationship status, your body, these are the light from the star of your past consciousness. They are the footprint of where you used to live. When you react to them, you are reacting to a ghost. And when you fight them, you are fighting a shadow. You cannot change the shadow by fighting it. You change the shadow by moving the object that casts it. And the object is your awareness. So how do we awaken to the finished creation? How do we move from the state of lack to the state of having without lifting a finger in the physical world? We use the tool that God gave us to travel through dimensions, imagination. But we must use it correctly. Most people use imagination as a temporary escape. They daydream about being wealthy for 10 minutes to feel better, and then they open their eyes, look at their bills, and say, well, that was nice, but this is reality. They treat imagination as the lie and the 3D world as the truth. You must flip this. You must reach a point of spiritual maturity where you regard your imaginal act as the truth and the 3D world as the temporary illusion. When you go into the silence and you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not pretending. You are actually stepping into that finished frame of the film. You are stepping into that finished city. It is real. It is happening now in the only place that matters, consciousness. If you can stay there, if you can bathe in that feeling, if you can saturate your mind with the sensory vividness of that new state, you are anchoring yourself in a new reality. And when you open your eyes, you have not come back to reality. No, you have returned from the only reality there is. And now, the 3D world is under compulsion to rearrange itself to match where you have just been. It does not have a choice. The world is a mirror. If you stand before it wearing the face of a queen, it cannot reflect a beggar. It might take a moment for the steam to clear from the glass, but the image must change. This removes all the pressure. Do you see? If creation is finished, you cannot mess it up. You cannot miss your boat. The boat is always there. You cannot lose your blessing. The blessing is a permanent fixture in the universe. You are just tuning the radio. If you are hearing static, you don't destroy the radio. You don't scream that the music has been destroyed. You just turn the dial a millimeter to the right. The music was always there. You just weren't aligned with it. So stop panicking. Stop looking for signs. Stop asking when and how. When is a question of time, and you are operating in the dimension where time is irrelevant. How is a question of mechanics, and the mechanics are handled by a wisdom much deeper than your conscious mind. Your only job is what? What do you want? What state do you wish to occupy? Identify it, and then dare to assume that you are already there. Walk through your day today with this secret knowledge tucked in your pocket. It is already done. When a bill comes, smile and say, "I remember when I used to worry about this before I moved to the state of wealth." When loneliness strikes, smile and say, "This is just an echo of the old city. I don't live here anymore. My partner is already with me in the state of love." This is what Neville called the Sabbath. The Sabbath is not a day of the week. It is a psychological state of rest. It is the state you enter when you are so convinced that it is finished, you no longer feel the urge to do anything to make it happen. You are not lazy. You are not passive. You are simply at peace. You are like a woman who has ordered a package from Amazon. You have clicked buy. You have received the confirmation email. Do you pace by the door? Do you call the warehouse? Do you worry it won't come? No. You go about your life. You know it is done. You know it is on its way. This is the Sabbath, the deep inner rest of knowing. Thank you, Father, that thou hast heard me. If you are still frantic, if you are still anxiously using techniques, if you are still checking the 3D for results, you are not in the Sabbath. You are still trying to manufacture the dress. Put down the needle and thread. Stand up. Look around. The dress is hanging right there. Claim it. Put it on. Wear it. Become aware of the woman you wish to be and realize that she has been waiting for you to notice her all along. The world is yours. It was given to you before the foundation of the earth. There is nothing to earn, nothing to prove, nothing to create. There is only to accept. Creation is finished. The play is written. The set is built. The costume is ready. Step onto the stage. The spotlight is waiting for you. If this message has found you today, take it as the sign you have been asking for. The waiting is over, not because the external world changed, but because you have remembered who you are. You are not the beggar. You are the selector. If you are ready to live in this state of Sabbath, if you are ready to stop building and start being, then subscribe to this channel. Join us in this sanctuary of deep truth. We are the women who have put down our tools. We are the women who have stopped struggling. We are the women who have awakened to the finished kingdom. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a bell that wakes you from the dream of lack and calls you back to the reality of abundance. It is done. It is finished. And it is very, very good. I am she who assumes, and so are you. Every person in your life is an actor on a stage. They know their lines, they hit their marks, they play the role you have assigned them with perfect fidelity. The villain plays the villain, the hero plays the hero, the distant lover plays the distant lover. The problem is, you have forgotten that you are the director. You are sitting in the audience crying at a tragedy you wrote yourself. You look at the stage, at the difficult boss, the critical parent, the cold partner, and you think they are improvising. You think they are doing this to you, but they are not. They are following your direction. They are whispering your own doubts back to you. They are acting out your own self-concept. Today, we are going to walk out of the audience, step back onto the stage, and rewrite the entire play. Neville Goddard called this law, "Everyone is you pushed out." It is the most controversial, the most difficult, and yet the most powerful aspect of the law of assumption. It implies that there is no them, there is only you. And if there is only you, there is no one to change but self. The title of today's contemplation is "The World is You Pushed Out." Today, we are going to take back the power you have given away to strangers. We are going to stop fighting the reflection and start changing the face in the mirror. Let us begin with the mechanics of this reality. We are taught from birth that the world is objective, that it is hard, solid, and exists outside of us. We are taught that if someone treats us poorly, it is because they are mean. If someone loves us, it is because they decided to. We walk on eggshells hoping to influence these separate beings. We send long text paragraphs trying to make them understand. And yet, have you noticed? The more you try to convince them, the more they resist. The more you fear they will leave, the colder they become. The more you worry about money, the faster the bills arrive. This is not bad luck. This is the law of the mirror. Imagine you are standing in front of a mirror in your bathroom. You are frowning. You look at the reflection and say, "I don't like that frown. Smile." The reflection does not smile. So you reach out your hand and try to physically force the corners of the reflection's mouth upward. You scrub at the glass. You yell at it. "Why won't you smile? Don't you love me?" You would be insane to do this. You know instinctively that the reflection cannot change until you change. It has no volition. It has no choice. It is a slave to your countenance. The world is that mirror. Everyone you meet is the reflection. They are reflecting your self-concept, your deepest beliefs about who you are and how the world treats you. If your core belief, your dominant feeling is, "I am always second best," then the world must populate your life with people who put you second best. Even if you meet a new person, a kind person, eventually, under the compulsion of your own energy, they will begin to treat you as second best. They cannot help it. They are drawn into the drama by your own vibration. Scripture says, "No man comes unto me save the Father within me draws him." The Father is your imagination, your consciousness. No one can enter your world unless you draw them in, and no one can behave in your world in a way that contradicts your assumption of them. This is a hard pill to swallow because it removes the luxury of blame. We love to blame. Blame feels righteous. It feels safe. I am the victim. He is the villain. But as long as you blame, you are powerless. If he is the villain, then he has the power. You have to wait for him to change. You are a slave to his whims. But if everyone is you pushed out, then there is no villain. There is only a messenger. He is showing you what you believe about yourself. He is treating you exactly the way you secretly expect to be treated. So, do you want to be right or do you want to be free? Because to be free, you must accept total responsibility for your reality. Now, let us pause here. I know the mind is racing. Does this mean I created the abuse? Does this mean I am at fault for the tragedy? We must be very precise with our language. We do not use the word fault. Fault implies judgment. Fault implies sin. We use the word cause. You are the cause. You did not consciously say, "I want to be heard." Of course not. But in the deep subterranean chambers of your subconscious, did you hold a belief that you were unworthy? Did you hold a belief that love is hard? Did you hold a belief that people always leave? The world has no choice but to prove you right. But here's the beauty. If you are the cause, you are also the cure. You do not need to go to them and beg for an apology. You do not need to force them to therapy. You need to go into the silence of your own being and change the script. Before we go deeper into the how, I invite you to make a commitment to this truth. This channel is a sanctuary for the woman who is ready to put down the victimhood and pick up the crown. We explore these depths every week. If you are ready to be the operant power, subscribe to this channel, join us, and turn on the notification bell so you are reminded constantly that the power is not out there, it is in you. Now, let us address the question that plagues every student of Neville Goddard: free will. But Eleanor, you ask, what about their free will? Can I really change how someone treats me? Isn't that manipulation? This is where we must leave the shallow waters of conventional morality and enter the deep ocean of metaphysics. Neville taught that in your reality, you are the only operant power. Others have free will in their reality, but in your reality, they are playing the roles you assign them. Think of a play. You are the writer, the director, and the lead actor. Everyone else is a supporting cast member. If you write a script where the lead actor is betrayed, the supporting actor must betray you. He has to. It's in the script. He thinks he is choosing to do it. He thinks he has his own reasons, but he is being moved by the invisible strings of your assumption. If you rewrite the script, if you change the character of the lead actor from victim to adoring queen, the supporting cast must change their performance. They must shift to match the new story. If the current actor cannot play the role of adoring husband, he will exit stage left, and a new actor who can play the role will enter. Or, and this is usually what happens, the current actor will miraculously change. The coldness will melt, the distance will vanish. They will say things to you that you only imagined in your head, and they will think it was their idea. You are not manipulating them. You are shifting yourself. You are moving to a new state of consciousness, and the world is rearranging itself around you. Let me give you a practical example of how this works in the wild. Imagine a woman named Sarah. Sarah believes deep down that she is invisible, that her voice doesn't matter. She goes to work. She sits in a meeting. She suggests an idea. Her boss interrupts her. Her colleagues look at their phones. Sarah goes home and thinks, they are so rude. They are disrespectful. I hate them. She has a mental conversation with her boss. In the shower, she argues with him. She tells him off. She imagines him being dismissive again tomorrow. She is writing the script for tomorrow. And tomorrow, the boss is even ruder. Now, let's say Sarah discovers the law of you pushed out. She stops. She realizes the mirror is just reflecting her own feeling of invisibility. She decides to change. She does not say a word to her boss. She does not file a complaint. She goes home. She sits in her favorite chair. She closes her eyes. She asks herself, how would I feel if I were the most respected woman in the room? She conjures that feeling. She feels tall. She feels valuable. She feels authoritative. Then she imagines a scene. She imagines the boss saying, Sarah, that is a brilliant insight. Thank you. She hears it. She feels the handshake. She feels the satisfaction. She loops the scene until she believes it. She falls asleep in the state of respected. The next day she walks into the office. She carries that new feeling like a perfume. The boss looks up. He smiles. He asks for her opinion. Why? Did he take a kindness pill? No. Sarah moved. Sarah moved from the state of invisible to the state of respected, and the boss, who is just a reflection, had to reflect the new state. He had no free will to reject her because she had no doubt in her assumption. This applies to everything. It applies to your romantic relationships. If you believe men always cheat, you will push out men who cheat. Even a faithful man will be compelled to betray you to satisfy your belief. If you believe I am cherished, you will push out partners who cherish you. Even a cold man will warm up to match your frequency. It applies to money. If you believe money is hard to get, the world will harden to make it difficult. If you believe money flows to me easily, the world will soften and opportunities will appear. The world is an echo chamber. Stop shouting, I am poor, and expecting the echo to say, I am rich. Stop shouting, I am lonely, and expecting the echo to say, I am loved. You must be the first to speak. You must be the first to move. God never responds to need. God responds to seed, and the seed is your assumption. This brings us to the golden rule. Neville's interpretation of the golden rule is not just about physical actions. It is about imaginal acts. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This means never imagine for another what you would not want for yourself. When you imagine that someone is mean, gossipy, or failing, you are pushing that out. But because the world is you pushed out, you are also doing it to yourself. You are polluting your own consciousness. Every time you think a nasty thought about a politician, a celebrity, or a neighbor, you are drinking poison and expecting them to die. You are keeping the state of nastiness alive in your world. To be truly sovereign, you must go on a mental diet. You must refuse to entertain any thought about another person that is not lovely. If you have a difficult ex-husband, do not imagine him being difficult. Imagine him being peaceful. Imagine him being generous. Not for his sake, for your sake. Because as long as you imagine him as a monster, he must remain a monster in your movie. Release him from that role. See him as his best self, and in doing so, you free yourself from the drama. I want you to try something. Think of one person in your life right now who is causing you friction. Just one. Notice the conversation you've been having with them in your head. Are you arguing? Are you defending yourself? Are you pointing out their flaws? Stop. Right now, in this moment, rewrite the script. Imagine them standing before you. Imagine them saying exactly what you wish they would say. I am sorry. I love you. Thank you for everything. You were right. Hear it. Really hear the tone of their voice. See the softness in their eyes. Feel your own reaction. Feel the relief washing over the relationship. Do not wonder, is it true? Make it true in the imagination. Because imagination is the only truth. The 3D world is just the lagging shadow. If you do this, if you persist in this new version of them, they will change. They have to. Or they will drift out of your life peacefully to make room for someone who matches your new standard. Either way, the conflict ends. This is the ultimate secret of relationships. You do not need to work on your relationship. You need to work on your concept of yourself. When you love yourself, when you treat yourself as the prize, the world will rush to treat you as the prize. When you respect your own imagination, the world will respect you. So, stop waiting for the text. Stop checking their social media to see what they are doing. What they are doing in the 3D is irrelevant. It is old news. It is the dead past. Go into the closet of your mind. Shut the door. And there, in the silence, commune with the version of them that loves you. Sleep with that version. Talk to that version. And let the dead bury the dead. You are the operant power. There is no one else. There is no out there. There is only in here. I want you to seal this truth today. I want you to claim your power back from the shadows. Go to the comments below. Do not just listen, participate. Write this declaration. I am the cause. The world is my reflection. Write it to remind yourself that you are no longer a cork in the ocean. You are the ocean. Every time you see a reflection you don't like, a bill, a frown, a rejection, do not react. Say to yourself, I pushed this out. I can pull it back. I can change it and return to the vision of the wish fulfilled. It requires discipline. It requires a vigilance of mind that most people are too lazy to cultivate. But you are not most people. You are she who assumes. You are the one who has awakened to the game. The world is yours. It has no choice but to be what you assume it is. So, assume the best. Assume love. Assume abundance. Assume peace. Walk in the confidence of a queen who knows her kingdom is simply her own consciousness pushed out. I am she who assumes, and so are you. I want you to do something for me right now. Look at your hand. Turn it over. Look at the lines on your palm. Look at the wall across the room. Look at the device you are holding. You believe that what you are seeing is now. You believe that you are interacting with the present moment. You believe that this physical, solid, hard world around you is reality. But I am here to tell you that you are wrong. What you are looking at is not the present. It is not reality. It is a fossil. It is a memory hardened into stone. It is the ghost of a decision you made yesterday, last week, or last year. Science tells us that when we look at a star in the night sky, we are not seeing the star as it is. We are seeing the light that left that star millions of years ago. The star itself might have exploded and died 1,000 years ago, but to your eyes, it is still shining. You are looking at a ghost. You are looking at the past. The exact same principle applies to your life. Your bank account, your relationship status, your body, your job, these are not current events. These are the delayed echoes of your past imagination. They are the light from the star of your consciousness finally hitting the screen of space. The reason you feel stuck, the reason you feel like you are fighting a losing battle is because you are trying to change the ghost. You are fighting the echo. You are trying to rearrange the furniture in a house that burned down yesterday. The title of today's revelation is, You Are Not Living in Reality, You Are Living in a Memory. And once you grasp this, once you truly understand the time lag of creation, you will never again be intimidated by the 3D world. You will step out of the timeline of the victim and into the timeline of the creator. Let us dismantle the illusion of time. We are taught that time is a straight line, past, present, future. But Neville Goddard taught us that time is an illusion of the senses. In the realm of consciousness, the fourth dimension, everything is happening now. Creation is finished. Every possible version of your life exists simultaneously. However, in the world of Caesar, the 3D world, there is a buffer, there is a delay. Think of a thunderclap. The lightning strikes instantly, but it takes several seconds for the sound of the thunder to reach your ears. Your imagination is the lightning. The 3D world is the thunder. The problem is, you strike the lightning in your mind, you imagine a new desire, but when you don't hear the thunder instantly, you panic. You open your eyes, you look at the 3D world, and you say, it didn't work, nothing happened. And in that moment of doubt, you cancel the storm. You are living in a world of delayed feedback, and the tragedy of human existence is that we react to the delay instead of trusting the cause. Look at your current circumstances. Maybe you are in debt, maybe you are lonely, maybe you are sick. You look at these facts and you say, this is my truth. No, this is your history. This is the manure of your past thoughts. Neville used that exact word, manure. He said the world is simply the manure of yesterday's states of consciousness. It is dead. It has no life of its own. It is only being sustained because you keep looking at it and feeding it with your attention. When you react to a bill in the mail with fear, you are taking the dead past and resurrecting it into the future. You are saying, I choose this again. When you react to a breakup with despair, you are taking the dead relationship and breathing life into the state of loneliness for tomorrow. To change your life, you must learn to let the dead bury the dead. You must learn to walk through the 3D world with a kind of holy indifference. You must look at the facts of your life and say, I see you, I recognize you. You are the echo of who I used to be, but you are not who I am. This brings us to the hardest discipline of the law of assumption, ignoring the senses. Neville said, to walk by faith is to deny the evidence of the senses. This is not delusion, this is higher physics. If you know the star is dead, why would you navigate your ship by it? If you know the 3D world is just a lag, why would you let it dictate your mood? Most people use the 3D world as their source of permission. They check the bank account to see if they are allowed to feel wealthy. They check the text messages to see if they are allowed to feel loved. They check the mirror to see if they are allowed to feel beautiful. They are slaves to the echo. You must reverse this. You must become the cause. You must go into your imagination, which is the only true reality, and appropriate the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of what the echo is saying. Imagine you are in a dungeon. The walls are cold stone. The door is locked. If you trust your eyes, you are a prisoner. That is the fact. But if you close your eyes and enter the state akin to sleep, and you imagine you are walking in a meadow, and you make that meadow vivid, and you feel the sun and smell the grass, where are you really? To the mystic, you are in the meadow. The body is in the dungeon, but the body is just a garment. The I, the consciousness, is in the meadow. And if you persist in the meadow, if you sleep in the meadow night after night, the dungeon must dissolve. The bridge of incidents will appear, the lock will break, the guard will sleep, the wall will crumble. because the 3D world has no choice but to reshape itself around the location of your consciousness. But you cannot wait for the dungeon to disappear before you enter the meadow. You must enter the meadow while the walls are still standing. This is where you have been failing. You do your SATs at night, you imagine the money, you imagine the ring, you feel great. Then you wake up, and the first thing you do is check. You check the phone. Did he text? You check the bank. Is the money there? You check the mirror. Is the weight gone? And when you see that the 3D hasn't changed yet, you crash, you get depressed, you say, I'm deluding myself. Listen to me closely. The act of checking is the act of digging up the seed. Imagine a farmer who plants a seed of corn. The next morning, he goes out to the field. He sees only flat dirt. He gets angry. Where is the corn? So he digs up the soil to check if the seed is growing. By exposing it to the light, he kills it. The next day, he plants it again. The next morning, he digs it up again. This farmer will starve, not because the soil is broken, not because the seed is bad, but because he does not trust the time lag. You must develop the patience of the farmer. You must know that once the seed is planted in the imagination, it is done. The interval of time between the planting and the harvest is not nothingness, it is gestation. Something is happening underground. The roots are spreading. The universe is conspiring. Just because you cannot see it with your physical eyes does not mean it is not real. In fact, it is more real than the flat earth you were looking at. Stop checking the 3D. The 3D is the last place the change will show up, not the first. The change happens in the silence first, then it happens in the feeling, then it happens in the bridge of incidents, and finally, as a last result, it hardens into the physical fact. If you are looking for the result at the beginning, you are looking backwards. If you are ready to stop looking backwards, if you are ready to stop letting the dead world dictate your living emotion, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are building a sanctuary here, a place where we remind each other that we are not corks bobbing in the sea of fate, but the ocean itself. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder to keep your eyes on the invisible until the invisible becomes the visible. So, how do we survive the waiting period? How do we walk through a day that contradicts our desire without losing faith? We practice double vision. This is a technique used by the great mystics. It means you live in two worlds simultaneously. You participate in the 3D world, you pay your bills, you go to work, you wash the dishes, but you do not give it your deep emotional allegiance. You treat the 3D world like a movie set. You know it is just plywood and paint. You know the script has already been rewritten. So when the old script plays out a scene of drama, you watch it with detachment. You say to yourself, this is an old scene. This was written by my old self last month. It is playing out now, but it has no power over my future. You do not fight the 3D. You do not argue with it. You simply withdraw your validation from it. You refuse to let it define you. Imagine you are an actor playing a beggar on stage. You wear the rags, you eat the fake food, you say the lines, but in your pocket you have the keys to your Bentley. You know that as soon as the curtain falls, you are going home to a mansion. Do you feel insecure because you are wearing rags on stage? No, you enjoy the performance. You might even play the role really well, but you never for a second confuse the character with the self. You must treat your current life like that stage play. I am currently playing the role of the broke woman. I am playing the role of the single woman, but I have the keys to the kingdom in my pocket. I know who I really am. This creates a feeling of lightness. It takes the desperation out of the desire. And paradoxically, the less you react to the beggar role, the faster the curtain falls and the faster you step into the queen role. Let us talk about the bridge of incidents.
Neville taught that between the assumption and the fulfillment, there is a bridge. This bridge is a series of events that leads you to your desire. But listen carefully. The bridge often looks like chaos. The bridge often looks like things falling apart. To get the new job, you might have to be fired from the old one. To meet the love of your life, the toxic partner might have to break your heart to clear the space. To get the sudden wealth, you might have to face a financial crisis that forces you to start the business. When these things happen, the unawakened person panics. They say, "I imagined wealth, why am I being fired? The law isn't working." But the awakened person, she who assumes, knows the truth. She says, "This is the bridge. The old structure is crumbling to make way for the new palace. I am not losing, I am moving." Do not judge the events of the day. You do not know the end from the beginning. Only your imagination knows. Your logical mind is too limited to see how being fired leads to becoming a millionaire, but your higher self knows the path. Your job is not to police the path. Your job is to hold the end. The end is where we begin. If you remain faithful to the end, to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, then every single thing that happens to you, good or bad, will be woven into the tapestry of your success, even your mistakes, even your failures, even the opposition of others. The law of assumption is so powerful that it will take the evil intentions of others and twist them to serve your good. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Who is God? Your imagination. Your imagination takes the raw material of the 3D world, the chaos, the mess, the delay, and transmutes it into the fulfillment of your desire. So stop fearing the 3D. Stop checking it for validation. It cannot validate you. It is a mirror. A mirror cannot tell you who you are. It can only show you who you have been. If you want to know who you are, look in the closet of your mind. Look at the seed you planted last night. That is who you are. I want you to seal this knowing today. I want you to make a declaration of faith that overrides the evidence of your senses. Go to the comments below. Do not be a passive listener. Be a doer of the word. Write, "I walk by faith, not by sight." Write it to tell your logical mind that its tenure as the boss is over. Write it to signal to the universe that you are no longer fooled by the echo. When you walk by faith, you walk on water. The solid ground of the 3D world dissolves under your feet, and you are supported by the substance of your own conviction. It is a scary place to be at first. The mind wants the safety of the shore, but the treasure is not on the shore. The treasure is out in the deep. Step out. Ignore the waves. Ignore the wind. Ignore the delay. Keep your eyes on the vision. If you do not waver, if you do not look down, you cannot sink. The law will uphold you. You are the operant power. You are the resurrection and the life. You can stand in a graveyard of dead dreams and speak the word, and they will rise. But you must stop looking at the tombstones and start looking at the light. The past is dead. Long live the dream. I am she who assumes. And so are you.
You are exhausted, not in the way that sleep can fix, not in the way that a vacation or a brief pause can remedy. You are exhausted from the trying, from the doing, from the endless grinding, striving to wrestle your life into something it has not yet become. You have been taught that creation requires blood, sweat, and tears, that if you want something, you must earn it. You must push, hustle, and prove yourself worthy. And so you have spent years, perhaps decades, in a state of perpetual effort, believing that the harder you struggle, the closer you will come to the peace you desire. But here you are, still trying, still waiting, and the life you seek feels no closer than it did when you began. What if I told you that effort is not the secret of creation? What if the very act of trying is the specific block keeping your desire at a distance? This is not a call to give up. This is not resignation. This is the revelation of a spiritual law you have been violating without knowing it. The secret of creation is not effort. It is awareness. We must understand this word deeply. When we speak of awareness, we do not mean a mental struggle. We do not mean clenching your teeth and visualizing a new car until your head aches. We do not mean thinking of your desire. We mean thinking from it. Awareness is the state of consciousness you occupy. It is your I am. It is what you claim to be true about yourself when no one else is watching. Right now, in this silence, you are aware of being a certain kind of person. You are aware of your limitations, your history, your current circumstances. This awareness, this silent sense of I am this, is the only creative power in your universe. If you are aware of being someone who must struggle, then you will perpetually manifest mountains to climb. If you are aware of being someone who is waiting for love, then waiting will be your permanent address. Because the world does not respond to what you do, it responds to what you are. The ancients knew this. The psalmist wrote, "Be still and know that I am God." Notice the instruction. It does not say strive and know. It does not say beg and know. It says be still. In the silence of the self, you are to know that your own wonderful human imagination, your own awareness, is the God of your reality. The exhaustion you feel comes from trying to do God's work as a mortal. You are trying to change the reflection in the mirror by scrubbing the glass. You are trying to force the external world to change while your internal awareness remains the same. This is the cruel irony of effort. The harder you try to get something, the more you confirm that you do not have it. Effort is a confession of lack. But awareness requires no effort. Awareness simply is. You do not struggle to be aware that you are breathing right now. You do not effort to know your own name. You simply know it. It is a fact. And this is how you must approach your desire, not as a prize to be won, but as a fact to be recognized. Imagine for a moment that you are a great actress cast in the role of a queen. A true queen does not walk onto the set and try to convince the servants that she is royal. She does not explain her power. She does not work for it. She simply assumes the nature of the queen. She sits as a queen. She speaks as a queen. And because she occupies that state of awareness, the entire court bows. But if you walk onto the stage of life trying to prove you are worthy of your desire, you are merely playing the role of the beggar, and the world will treat you as such. You do not create by trying to become. You create by being. But why is this so difficult? Why do we slip back into the habit of effort so easily? It is because you have become a slave to your senses. You look at your bank account and your eyes tell you there is not enough. You look at your empty bed and your senses tell you, I am alone. You look at the mirror and your logic tells you it is too late for me. And because you trust your senses more than you trust your imagination, you panic. You revert to effort. You try to fix the reflection. But Neville taught us that the world of the senses is the world of shadows. It is the past hardened into stone. What you see with your eyes today is merely the echo of what you were aware of yesterday. When you react to the physical world, when you argue with it, fight with it, or cry over it, you are fighting a ghost. You are pouring your energy into a dead past. To stop efforting, you must learn to withdraw your trust from what you see and place it entirely in what you assume. This requires a certain kind of boldness. It requires you to walk by faith, not by sight. Now, I can hear the question rising in your mind. It is the question that plagues every student of this law. But if I simply assume I am the woman I wish to be, do I do nothing? Do I just sit on the couch and wait? This is the fear of the ego. The ego believes that if it stops running, the world will collapse. But there is a vast difference between doing and forcing. When you occupy a state of awareness, you will move, you will act, but you will not act to make it happen. You will act because it is happening. Consider the oak tree. Does the oak tree effort to grow? Does it strain and grunt to push its branches toward the sun? No. It grows effortlessly because of the genetic pattern, the awareness buried within the seed. It acts, but its action is natural. It is compelled by its own nature. When you successfully move into the state of the wish fulfilled, when you accept that you are already that woman, a bridge of incidents will appear before you. You may feel a sudden impulse to go to a specific place. You may receive a phone call. You may find a book. You may be compelled to speak to a stranger. To the outside world, this looks like action, but to you, it will feel like flow. It will feel like the next logical step. Forced action feels like pushing a boulder up a hill. Inspired action feels like the boulder pulling you down the hill. So no, you do not do nothing. You do the only thing that matters. You tend to your awareness. You guard your inner state. And you let the how unfold in ways your conscious mind could never devise. This brings us to the hardest truth of all. The reason you are still exhausted. You are trying to put new wine into old wineskins. You are trying to add the new empowered woman onto the old victimized self. You cannot be both. You cannot be the woman who is happily married and the woman who is lonely and bitter. You cannot be the woman who is wealthy and the woman who worries about every penny. To be the new, you must die to the old. This is what Scripture means when it speaks of dying daily. It is not a physical death. It is the psychological death of the old concept of self. You must be willing to let go of your story, the story of how hard you've had it, the story of who hurt you, the story of why it hasn't worked before. As long as you carry that old story, you are keeping the old awareness alive. And as long as that awareness lives, you will continue to struggle. Are you willing to let her die? The woman who tries? The woman who waits? The woman who doubts? Are you willing to bury her today so that the queen can rise? So, how do we apply this? How do we move from the exhaustion of effort to the peace of awareness right now? We start with a declaration. We stop asking. We stop waiting. We start assuming. Suppose you desire to be a woman who is deeply, securely loved. If you approach this with effort, you will search for love. You will change yourself to attract it. You will look for signs. But if you approach this with awareness, you simply ask yourself, who would I be if I were already loved? And you dare to assume that feeling now. You wake up in the morning not as a woman seeking a partner, but as a woman who knows she is cherished. You move through your day with the quiet confidence of one whose heart is already full. You make decisions from the state of fulfillment, not the state of hunger. You do not do this to make something happen. You do this because it has already happened in the only place that matters, in your imagination. And when you shift your awareness, the world must shift to match it. It is not a suggestion, it is a law. Your outer world is compelled to bear witness to your inner state. So I invite you to conduct an experiment in silence. Pause the video for a moment if you must. Go to the comments below or simply write it in your journal or speak it to your own heart. Write, I am, followed by the state you are now choosing to occupy. I am secure. I am chosen. I am abundant. I am free. Do not write it as a hope. Write it as a witness statement, a decree. Good. Now that you have declared it,
hold it. Do not go back to the comment section to see if others agree. Do not go back to your day and check for results. The seed has been planted. Do not dig it up to see if it is growing. For the rest of this day, whenever the old panic rises, whenever the urge to fix or force comes up, simply return to this moment. Remind yourself, I am not creating this. I am becoming aware of it. It requires practice. It requires a vigilance of mind, but it does not require effort. It is a relaxing into the truth. It is a deep, profound exhale. If you are ready to walk this path of sovereignty, if you are ready to put down the heavy burden of manifesting and pick up the crown of the operant power, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are building a sanctuary here, a place for the woman who seeks substance over spectacle, a place where we remind each other week after week that the power is not out there, it is in you. Turn on the notification bell, not so you can be alerted to a new video, but so you can be reminded to return to your true self. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to earn. You have only to accept. Stop trying to storm the gates of heaven. The kingdom is within you. Be still. Stop the doing and rest in the knowing that you are already the woman you wish to be. I am she who assumes, and so are you.
You spend 1/3 of your entire existence in a mysterious void. For 8 hours every night, you withdraw from the world of facts, figures, and senses, and you drift into the silence. You view this time as a pause button. You think of it as a biological necessity, a time to recharge the batteries of the body so you can wake up and fight the battle of life again tomorrow. But this is a dangerous misunderstanding. Sleep is not a pause. Sleep is a portal. The moment your head hits the pillow, the moment the conscious world begins to blur and the rational mind begins to loosen its grip, you are not checking out. You are checking in. You are walking through the only door that leads directly to the engine room of reality. Most people walk through this door unconsciously. They carry their garbage with them. They take the arguments of the day, the worries about the bills, the pain of the heartbreak, and they drag these heavy sacks through the portal with them. They spend their final waking moments replaying their trauma. And because they do this, they unknowingly command the universe to print more of the same for tomorrow. They wake up in the same loop, unaware that they wrote the script the night before. But you are here because you suspect there is another way. You are here because you are ready to stop being a victim of the night and start becoming a master of the dream. Neville Goddard called this specific threshold, this magic window between waking and sleeping, the state akin to sleep. He taught that this state is the single most powerful tool for manifestation ever given to humanity. It is the gateway to God. The title of today's deep dive is The State Akin to Sleep. Today we are going to learn how to utilize the night. We are going to learn how to hack the mechanism of creation to impress your desire directly upon the subconscious so that your waking world has no choice but to reflect it. Let us begin with the mechanics of the mind. We have discussed before that you are a dual being. You have a conscious mind, the male principle, the seed giver, and a subconscious mind, the female principle, the womb. During the day, your conscious mind is wide awake. It is a vigilant guard. If you say to yourself at noon, "I am wealthy," while holding a past due bill, your conscious mind rejects it. It says, "That is a lie. Look at the paper. Look at the bank account." It deflects the seed. It refuses to let the new idea enter the subconscious. This is why affirming things while you are stressed or wide awake often feels like fighting a brick wall. The guard is on duty and he is very strict. But the guard has to sleep. As the sun goes down and the body gets tired, the conscious mind begins to weary. The brain waves slow down. The logic becomes fuzzy. The senses, the eyes and ears that tether you to the physical world, begin to close. This is the state akin to sleep. It is that drowsy, floaty borderland state where you are not quite awake but not quite asleep. You are in control of your thoughts, but you have lost interest in the external world. In this state, the guard leaves the gate. The door to the subconscious swings wide open, and whatever you take with you through that door, whatever feeling, whatever image, whatever assumption you hold in that specific moment, sinks directly into the womb of creation without resistance. It is sealed. Scripture speaks of this in the book of Job. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. Sealeth their instruction. Think about the weight of those words. Every night you are given an audience with God. You are given a chance to hand over the instruction sheet for the next day, the next month, the next year. And God, your own wonderful human imagination, takes that instruction, seals it with wax, and begins to orchestrate the universe to fulfill it. Now, ask yourself honestly, what instructions have you been handing over lately? I am lonely. I am broke. I am sick. They don't love me. If you review your last thoughts before sleep from the past week, you will likely find the blueprint for the exact problems you are facing today. You are creating your struggle in your sleep. This stops today. We are going to institute a new protocol for the night. We are going to treat the bedroom not as a place to crash, but as a holy of holies, a temple where destiny is forged. If you are ready to stop poisoning the womb of your future, if you are ready to become a conscious gatekeeper of the night, then go to the comments right now and make a pact with yourself. Write, I am the gatekeeper. Do not write it for me. Write it to signal to your own subconscious that the era of unconscious creation is over. You are taking the watch. Good. Now that you have accepted the responsibility, how do we actually do this? How do we perform SATs correctly? Neville Goddard gave us a very specific formula. It is simple, but it requires discipline. Many people fail at this because they try too hard. SATs is not an effort, it is a surrender. Step 1, the physical state. You must immobilize the body. Lie flat on your back or in a comfortable chair. You want to be in a position where you can relax completely, but, and this is crucial, do not fall asleep immediately. You need to induce a drowsy state. You can do this by focusing on your breathing or simply by feeling the heaviness of your limbs. You want to reach that floaty feeling where you could move your hand if you wanted to, but you just don't want to. The physical world must recede. The room must feel far away. Step 2, the scene. Before you enter this state during the day, you must construct a scene. This is where most people go wrong. They try to imagine the whole movie. They try to imagine the meeting, the date, the wedding, the honeymoon, and the house. This is too much. The mind wanders. You get lost in the details. Neville instructs us to create a single, short, looping scene. A scene that implies the wish is already fulfilled. Not is happening, but has happened. If you want a promotion, the scene is a colleague shaking your hand and saying, "Congratulations on the new role." If you want marriage, the scene is not the date. The scene is you feeling the wedding ring on your finger and turning it. If you want health, the scene is a doctor telling you, "It is a miracle, you are perfectly healthy." It must be short, 5 seconds, 10 seconds max,
and it must imply fulfillment. Step 3, the first-person perspective.
This is the non-negotiable rule. You must be in the scene. You cannot see yourself on a movie screen. If you see yourself over there shaking hands with the boss, you are dissociating. You are saying, that is him or her, not me. You must see the boss's face. You must see your own hands. You must occupy the body. Step 4, the loop and the sensory vividness. Now, lying in the dark, in your drowsy state, you begin to play the scene. The colleague shakes your hand. Congratulations. Then you bring yourself back to the start. The colleague shakes your hand. Congratulations. Again, the colleague shakes your hand. Congratulations. At first, it will feel like a dry mental exercise. It will feel fake. But as you loop it 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, something magical begins to happen. The mind gets bored of fighting it. The critical guard is asleep, and the scene begins to take on the tones of reality. You start to actually feel the warmth of the hand. You start to hear the specific tone of the voice. You smell the office coffee. It stops being a picture and starts being a place. You are creating a hologram in the 4th dimension. You are anchoring your consciousness in a new reality. Step 5, the slip. This is the climax of the technique. You continue looping this scene, feeling the reality of it, feeling the relief of it, until you slip off the cliff into deep sleep. You let the scene be the last thing in your consciousness. You do not stop the scene and then think, I wonder if that worked, and then go to sleep. No, you ride the scene into the sleep. You fall asleep in the assumption. If you do this correctly, you have successfully impregnated the subconscious mind. You have cast the seed into the fertile soil. And just like a biological pregnancy, once the seed is planted, the work is done. You do not need to dig it up. You do not need to check on it. The subconscious has received the instruction, and it will spend the next days and weeks moving people, changing circumstances, and bending chances to birth that scene into your 3D world. Now, let us troubleshoot. Because I know many of you have tried this and felt frustrated. You say, I can't visualize. I don't see pictures. This is a common block. But Neville says, feeling is the secret. He does not say seeing is the secret. If you cannot see the boss's face, that is fine. Can you hear his voice? Can you feel the handshake? Touch is the most powerful sense in SATS. If you want a new car, don't worry about seeing the paint color. Feel the leather of the steering wheel under your hands. Feel the weight of the key. If you want a relationship, feel the sensation of sleeping next to someone. Feel the mattress depress. Use whatever sense is strongest for you. It does not have to be visual, it just has to be vivid. Another common failure is effort. If you are clenching your jaw, furrowing your brow, and trying to make the scene appear, you are waking yourself up. You are bringing the guard back to the gate. The state must be relaxed. It must be lazy. If you find yourself getting tense, stop, reset, breathe. You are not forcing a reality. You are allowing a reality to overtake you. And finally, the fear of nightmares or wandering thoughts. What if your mind wanders? What if you start thinking about your grocery list? Do not punish yourself. Gently bring your attention back to the scene.
The mind is like a puppy. It will run off. Just gently bring it back to the loop. Congratulations, congratulations. Eventually, the puppy will get tired and lie down in the scene. This technique is not just a trick to get stuff. It is a fundamental restructuring of your soul. When you master SATS, you lose your fear of the world. Why? Because you know that no matter what happens during the day, you have the power to rewrite it at night. Neville taught the concept of revision alongside SATS. If you had a terrible day, if you got fired or dumped or received bad news, do not take that script into sleep. Use the SATS technique to rewrite the day. Go through the day in your mind, but change the scenes. Instead of being fired, imagine you were praised. Instead of the fight, imagine the peace. Loop that scene until it feels real and fall asleep in that feeling. This sounds delusional to the world, but the world is asleep. You are waking up. By revising the day, you neutralize the bad seed before it can take root. You stop the cycle of karma. You change the past, which changes the future. This is the power you hold. You are not a helpless cork bobbing in the ocean. You are the writer, the director, and the lead actor. And the time of writing is the night. I invite you to make this your nightly discipline. Treat it with the same seriousness as brushing your teeth. You wouldn't go to bed with a dirty mouth. Why do you go to bed with a dirty mind? Cleanse your mind. Install the new program. Imagine if you did this for 30 days. Imagine if for 30 nights in a row you fell asleep in the absolute conviction that you are loved, wealthy, and healthy. Do you think your life would look the same in a month? It's impossible. The law of the universe states that the outer world must reflect the inner state. If you change the inner state consistently, the outer world will crumble and rebuild itself to match. The only thing standing between you and your dream life is the discipline of your attention. Are you willing to sacrifice the pleasure of worrying? Are you willing to give up the habit of replaying your victimhood before bed? It is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. Replace the habit of worry with the habit of SATS. Make the darkness your friend. Make the pillow your altar. If you are ready to master this, if you are ready to stop leaving your life to chance, then subscribe to this channel. We are building a sanctuary here, a place for the woman who seeks substance over spectacle. We are the women who know that the dream is the only reality. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder. When you see a notification from She Who Assumes, let it trigger the question, what am I going to plant tonight? The harvest is guaranteed. The soil of the subconscious never fails. The only variable is the seed you choose. Choose wisely. Choose love. Choose abundance. And sleep in the peace of the wish fulfilled. I am She Who Assumes, and so are you. There is a secret language that the universe speaks. It is not a language of words. It is not a language of logic or reason or pleading. You cannot speak it with your mouth, and you cannot write it on paper. It is a language of vibration, a language of sensation. It is the language of feeling. And right now, in this very moment, you are speaking this language loud and clear. The question is not, are you creating? You are always creating. The question is, what are you saying? Look around you. Look at the walls of your room. Look at your bank balance. Look at the text messages on your phone. These are not random events. These are not accidents of fate. These are the echoes of the feelings you held yesterday and the day before and the month before that. Your world is nothing more than your dominant mood hardened into stone. If you are frustrated with your reality, it is because you have been speaking the language of frustration, and the universe, which is a faithful servant, has answered you in kind. If you are lonely, it is because you have been speaking the language of separation. Neville Goddard gave us the key to breaking this cycle in 5 simple words. Feeling is the secret. But this is where the danger lies. This is where the misunderstanding begins. Because when most of us hear the word feeling, we think of emotion. We think we need to whip ourselves into a state of ecstatic joy. We think we need to jump up and down, pump our fists, and scream, "I am rich," until we are exhausted. We mistake hysteria for power. And when the adrenaline fades, as it always does, we crash back down into despair and we say, "I tried feeling it and it didn't work." You did not feel it. You emoted it. There is a vast difference. Neville was not talking about high-energy emotion. He was talking about the quiet, solid, unshakable sensation of naturalness. He was talking about the feeling of reality. The secret of creation is not about getting high on hope. It is about the deep, silent relief of knowing that it is done. To understand this, we must understand the machinery of your own being. Scripture tells us that we are made in the image of God. Neville interprets this to mean that our consciousness is the creator. But this consciousness has 2 parts: the conscious mind, the male principle, and the subconscious mind, the female principle. This is not sexism, this is symbolism. The conscious mind is the selector. It is the gatekeeper. It is the one who chooses the seed. It generates the idea. I desire to be securely loved. I desire to be wealthy. But the conscious mind cannot create. It can only select. The subconscious mind is the womb. It is the creative power. It has no logic. It has no judgment. It does not know the difference between reality and imagination. Whatever creates an impression upon the subconscious mind, it must give birth to. It is impersonal. If you impress it with sickness, it will faithfully create sickness. If you impress it with wealth, it will faithfully create wealth. It does not care. It only serves. So, how do we place the seed into the womb? How do we move a desire from a thought in the conscious mind to a fact in the subconscious mind? Through the medium of feeling. Feeling is the bridge. Feeling is the act of fertilization. You can think about your desire for 1,000 years. You can write it in your journal 1,000,000 times. But if you do not feel it, if you do not accept it as a reality within, the subconscious remains barren. The seed lies on top of the soil and dies. This is why you have failed in the past. You have been thinking of the end instead of thinking from the end. Thinking of the end is a mental exercise. It keeps the desire in the future. One day I will have it. Thinking from the end is a feeling exercise. It brings the desire into the present. I am it. Let us look closely at this word feeling. What does it mean to feel that you are wealthy? Does it mean you walk around laughing at price tags? No. Wealth, when it is real, feels natural. It feels normal. It feels like security. It feels like the absence of worry. If you were truly wealthy right now, you wouldn't be jumping up and down shouting about it. You would be drinking your coffee, planning your day, knowing that the bills are paid. The feeling of wealth is relief. What does it mean to feel that you are loved? Does it mean butterflies in your stomach 24 hours a day? No. True love feels like safety. It feels like grounding. It feels like knowing there is a hand to hold. The feeling of love is satisfaction. This is the secret frequency you must capture. You must catch the mood that would be yours if your prayer was already answered. Imagine you have a heavy debt hanging over your head. It keeps you awake at night. Your stomach turns when you see the mail. This is the feeling of debt. And as long as you hold this feeling, the subconscious will generate more debt to match it. Now, imagine that a distant relative leaves you a fortune. You pay the debt, you see the account balance hit zero, you see the surplus. What is the primary emotion? It is not excitement. Excitement passes in an hour. The primary emotion is a massive physical exhale. The shoulders drop, the stomach unclenches, the mind goes quiet. You say to yourself, "Thank God, it is over. I am free." That specific feeling, that exhale, that drop in tension, that quiet, "it is done," that is the creative power of God. If you can capture that feeling, if you can summon that mood of relief without any external reason, you have impressed the subconscious. You have planted the seed. And the subconscious, once impregnated with that feeling, will move heaven and earth to externalize it. It will force you to take the right actions. It will bring the right people. It will create the coincidences.
You do not have to know how. The womb knows how to build the child. The conscious mind does not need to tell the subconscious how to knit the DNA. It simply needs to provide the seed. But there is a catch. There is a time when the subconscious is most open, most vulnerable, and most powerful. Neville called this the state akin to sleep. During the day, your conscious mind is a guard at the gate. It is full of logic, doubt, and sensory evidence. If you try to tell yourself, "I am wealthy," while you are looking at a bill, the conscious mind says, "No, you are not. Look at this paper." It rejects the seed. But as you drift off to sleep, the guard leaves the gate. The conscious mind begins to fade, the sensory world dissolves, and the door to the subconscious swings wide open. This is why Neville said, "Never go to sleep feeling dissatisfied." Sleep is the gateway to creation. Whatever feeling you take with you into sleep is the command you are giving to your subconscious for the next 24 hours. If you go to sleep worrying about money, replaying an argument, or feeling lonely, you are essentially commanding your subconscious, "Create more of this tomorrow." You are poisoning the womb. And then you wake up and wonder why your life is a loop of the same problems. It is because you are printing the same template every night. You must treat sleep as a sacred ritual. It is not just a time to rest the body, it is the time to create the future. So how do we apply this? How do we use the feeling as the secret? Tonight, as you lie in bed, do not just close your eyes and drift off in the chaos of the day. Prepare yourself. Lie flat on your back, relax your body, let the tension drain out of your muscles. Induce a state of drowsiness. You want to be on the borderland between waking and sleeping, that floaty, dreamy state where you can control your thoughts, but the physical world feels far away. In this state, you are standing in the Holy of Holies. Now, bring before your mind's eye a single short scene that implies your wish is fulfilled. Not a long movie, a short scene. And you are not watching yourself. You are in the scene. You are looking through your own eyes. If you want the promotion, imagine your boss's hand shaking yours. Feel the warmth of the skin. Hear the voice saying, "Congratulations." If you want the relationship, imagine the weight of a ring on your finger. Feel the metal, turn it with your thumb. Or feel the presence of a body next to you in bed. Feel the warmth of the sheets. And here is the key. You must loop this scene. Do it over and over and over again. At first, it will feel like a daydream, but as you repeat it, something magical happens. The scene begins to take on the tones of reality. The hand feels real, the voice sounds audible, the ring feels solid. And as the reality of the scene grows, the feeling will rise up in you. Not the feeling of, I hope I get this, but the feeling of, I have this. The feeling of, it is true. Bathe in this feeling. Let it wash over you like warm water. Do not force it. Just allow the naturalness of it to soak into your soul. And then slip from that feeling directly into sleep. You fall asleep in the assumption that you are the woman you want to be. You let that feeling be the last thing your conscious mind touches before it hands the baton to the subconscious. If you do this, if you successfully impregnate the subconscious with this mood, creation is finished. You have cast the seal upon the wax. The wax has no choice but to take the shape of the seal. Your world has no choice but to take the shape of your feeling. Now, I must warn you of the trap. The trap is the morning after. You wake up, you open your eyes, and the first thing you see is the old world. The empty bed, the bills, the same old problems. And the tendency is to react. The tendency is to say, I did the imaginal act, but it's not here yet. The moment you do this, you have dug up the seed. You have looked at the soil and said, I don't see a flower. And in your doubt, you have uprooted the work of the night. You must learn to walk by faith, not by sight. When you see the old world, you must say to yourself, this is just the echo. This is the past fading away. I know what I did in the silence. I know what I felt, and what I felt is the truth. You must carry the mood of the wish fulfilled with you like a secret fragrance. No one else needs to smell it. No one else needs to know. But you know. You walk through your day with the quiet confidence of a woman who has $1 million in her pocket, even if her purse is empty. You walk with the grace of a woman who is deeply loved, even if you are walking alone. This creates a bridge. You are bridging the gap between the invisible and the visible with your feeling. You stop reacting to the world and you start acting from your imagination. And let me tell you, the world is a mirror. It is a slow mirror sometimes. It takes time for the reflection to adjust to the new object. But if you hold the object steady, if you sustain the feeling, the reflection must change. It is a law. It is as unfailing as gravity. So stop trying to change the people around you. Stop trying to force doors open. Stop shouting at the mirror. Go within. Change the feeling of I within yourself. Ask yourself right now, how would I feel if my dream were true? Identify that feeling. Is it relief? Is it gratitude? Is it a quiet sense of power? Now dare to assume that feeling. Wear it. Put it on like a dress. Do not take it off when it gets uncomfortable. Do not take it off when the world throws dirt on it. Wear it until it becomes your skin. When the feeling becomes natural, when you no longer feel like you are pretending, but simply being, then the work is done. The externalization will rush to meet you. This is the secret that the mystics and the prophets have whispered for centuries. God is not far away. God is in your fundamental mood. Guard your heart, for out of it flow the issues of life. Guard your feeling, for out of it flows your world. If you are ready to master this language, if you are ready to stop begging in words and start commanding in feelings, then subscribe to this channel. We are the sanctuary for the women who know that the inner world is the cause and the outer world is the effect. We do not chase, we assume. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder to check your mood. Let it be a reminder to ask, what am I feeling right now? And do I want to meet this feeling in my future? Because you will meet it. You are meeting it every day. Change the feeling and you change the destiny.
Sleep in the wish fulfilled, wake in the conviction, and watch the world bow to your assumption. I am she who assumes, and so are you. You have been lied to about time. You have been raised in a world that tells you the past is a locked room, a museum of finished events, a statue carved in stone that can never be touched, never be altered, and never be undone. You look back at your life, at the mistakes, the heartbreaks, the failures, the harsh words spoken, and you feel the heavy, crushing weight of, "It is what it is." You carry this weight like a backpack filled with lead. You let it define you. You let it dictate your future. You say, "I am this way because of what happened to me 10 years ago." But I am here to offer you the keys to the locked room. I am here to tell you that the past is not a statue. It is clay. It is still wet. It is malleable, and it is waiting for your hands. What if I told you that you could go back, not in a time machine made of gears and metal, but in the only time machine that actually works, your imagination? What if I told you that you could rewrite the script of yesterday, and by doing so, completely alter the trajectory of tomorrow? This is not fantasy. This is the most advanced, the most radical, and the most powerful technique Neville Goddard ever taught. He called it the pruning shears of revision. The title of today's revelation is The Art of Revision. Today, we are going to learn how to stop being a victim of your history and start becoming the editor of your destiny. Let us begin by dismantling your concept of memory. You think memory is a record. You think it is a dusty file cabinet in the brain where you store objective facts about what happened. But metaphysically, memory is identical to imagination. When you remember something, you are summoning an image in the present moment. You are activating a feeling in the present moment. You are bringing a dead state back to life. Neville taught that time is an illusion. There is only now. The past is simply a specific arrangement of imagination that you keep revisiting. And because you keep revisiting it, because you keep replaying the argument, the rejection, the failure, you keep keeping it alive. You are watering a weed, and then you wonder why your garden is choked with thorns. Scripture says, "God requireth that which is past." This does not mean God judges your past. It means that the creative power, God, looks at what you are holding in your mind regarding the past and reproduces it in your future. If you hold a memory of injustice, the universe says, "Ah, you are meditating on injustice. I must give you more injustice to match this frequency." The past reproduces itself. This is what we call karma. But revision breaks the cycle. Revision is the forgiveness of sin. When you revise a memory, when you rewrite it to match what you wish had happened, you are cutting the root of the weed. You are stopping the cycle of karma instantly. So, why is this video titled, "You Can Change the Past"? Because when you change the feeling associated with a memory, you change the effect that memory has on your life. You literally change the timeline. I know the logical mind is screaming right now. It is saying, "But it happened. The facts are the facts. I can't pretend I didn't get fired. I can't pretend he didn't leave me. That is delusion." Let us look at facts. Neville said, "Facts have no life of their own.
They only have the life you give them. A fact is a dead thing until you breathe upon it with your attention. When you accept the fact of the breakup and you replay the sadness, you are breathing life into a future of loneliness. When you reject the fact and you revise it in your imagination, you are withdrawing your life force from the trauma. You are letting the dead bury the dead. We must understand the metaphor of the garden. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts and imaginal acts are the plants. Most of us are lazy gardeners. We let everything grow. A weed, a negative event, pops up in our day. Someone is rude to us. We get a parking ticket. We receive a cold text. And instead of pulling the weed out immediately, we water it. We go home and tell our friends about the weed. Can you believe what he said? We lie in bed and think about the weed. We obsess over the weed. And by the next morning, the weed has dropped seeds and 10 more weeds have appeared. Neville gave us the pruning shears of revision to tend the garden. A gardener does not cry when he sees a dead branch. He does not analyze why the branch is dead. He does not feel guilty about the branch. He simply takes out his shears and he cuts it off. He prunes the plant so that the energy can go to the healthy flowers. You must become a ruthless gardener of your own timeline. You must stop accepting the events of the day as final. Nothing is final until you accept it. So, how do we do this? How do we use the shears? The technique is simple, but it requires a daily discipline that separates the master from the student. At the end of every day, before you go to sleep, you must review the day. Don't just drift into unconsciousness. Turn on the projector of your mind and watch the film of today. Start from the morning. You woke up, you had coffee, you went to work. Watch the events unfold. But, and here's the magic, whenever you see a scene that was not ideal, whenever you see a moment of friction or lack or pain, stop the film. Do not accept it. Rewind the tape and replace that scene with the scene you wish had happened. Did you receive a rejection letter in the mail? In your revision, see yourself opening the envelope, but this time read the letter. See the words, "We are thrilled to accept you." Feel the paper in your hands. Feel the surge of excitement. Feel the gratefulness. Do it over and over until it feels real, until the memory of the rejection is replaced by the memory of the acceptance. Did you have an argument with your partner? In your revision, replay the conversation, but this time imagine them saying, "I understand, I love you, thank you." Imagine yourself responding with kindness. Feel the hug, feel the resolution. Rewrite the script until the anger dissolves and is replaced by relief. Did you feel lonely? Revise the day to imply you were surrounded by love. You do this for every negative event of the day. You prune the vine. And then you fall asleep in the revised version of the day. This does two profound things. First, it changes your vibration for tomorrow because you are sleeping in the feeling of success. Even if it was revised success, you wake up in the state of success. You do not carry the residue of failure into the new day. You break the loop. Second, and this is the mystery, it changes the people involved. I have seen this happen thousands of times. It is the most miraculous part of the law. When you revise a conversation with someone, that person will often change their behavior toward you the very next day. They will not know why. They will not remember the revision. But because everyone is you pushed out, when you change the script inside you, they are compelled to change their acting outside of you. I have seen people revise a breakup and the ex reaches out the next day apologizing for being confused. I have seen people revise a firing and get a call saying, "We made a mistake, please come back." The 3D world is fluid. It is not as solid as you think. It is responsive to the editor's hand. If you are ready to pick up these shears, if you are ready to stop letting the weeds of the past choke the flowers of your future, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a sanctuary for the women who know that reality is not something you endure, it is something you edit. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder that you are the director, not the audience. But Eleanor, you ask, what about the deep stuff? What about the things that happened years ago? What about the childhood trauma? What about the major regrets? Can I revise those too? Yes. In fact, you must. If you are carrying a story from 10 years ago, my father abandoned me, or I lost my fortune, or I was humiliated, that story is still active. It is a live wire in your subconscious. It is still generating patterns of abandonment, loss, and humiliation today. To heal the present, you must rewrite the past. You do not need to deny that the event happened in the 3D world. We're not talking about lying to others. We're talking about changing the internal record. Go back to that moment in your imagination. Enter the scene and change it. If your father left, imagine him staying. Imagine a scene where he is loving, present, and proud. Feel his hand on your shoulder. Hear him say, "I am so proud of you." Loop this scene. Saturate yourself in it. Cry the tears of relief. Give yourself the memory you never had. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a physical event and an imaginal act. If you impress it with a loving father now, it will begin to produce the effects of a loving father now. You will suddenly feel a sense of security you never had. You will stop attracting partners who abandon you. The wound will close because the cause of the wound has been rewritten. This is the ultimate forgiveness. Neville said, "Forgiveness is not a sentiment, it is an act of revision." To forgive someone is not to say what you did was okay. To forgive is to revise what they did so that they no longer exist as a villain in your mind. As long as you remember them as the villain, you are tied to them. You are keeping the pain alive. When you revise them into a friend or a neutral stranger or a loving figure, you cut the cord. You set yourself free. This requires immense boldness. It requires you to value your own peace more than you value the facts. The world worships facts. The world worships the victim story. But you are not of this world. You are of the kingdom of imagination. In the kingdom, a fact is only true as long as you keep it alive. So I ask you, what facts are you keeping alive that are killing you? What memories are you polishing like trophies of pain? Put them down. Take out the shears. Cut them off. Replace the ash with beauty. Replace the mourning with the oil of joy. This is your right as the operant power. You are not bound by linear time. You are an eternal being experiencing a timeline, and you have the power to jump tracks. I want you to try an experiment tonight. Do not try to revise your whole life in one sitting. That is too heavy. Just revise today. Whatever happened today that was less than perfect, change it. If you spilled your coffee, imagine you drank it peacefully. If you felt lonely, imagine you felt connected. If you looked in the mirror and criticized your body, replay that moment and imagine you looked in the mirror and smiled at your beauty. Go to sleep in the revised version of today. Make it a game. How much better can I make today look? And then watch what happens tomorrow. Watch the lightness in your step. Watch the way the world smiles back at you. Because you are no longer dragging the heavy sack of yesterday. You have cut the cord. You are free. If you are ready to make this commitment, if you are ready to become the gardener of your own soul, then make the declaration. Go to the comments below, seal your intention with a physical act. Write, "I am the editor." Write it to tell your subconscious that you are no longer accepting the rough draft. You are publishing the masterpiece. There is a beautiful freedom on the other side of revision. It is the feeling of a clean slate. It is the knowing that nothing is fatal. Nothing is final. Every mistake can be corrected. Every word can be unsigned. Every broken piece can be made whole in the kiln of the imagination. You do not have to live with regret for one more second. Regret is just a failure to revise. So stop regretting, start revising. The pruning shears are in your hand. The garden is waiting. Cut away the dead wood, water the roses, and watch your life bloom into the Eden it was always meant to be. I am she who assumes, and so are you. You think you are alone. You are sitting in a quiet room, perhaps with headphones on, and you believe that in this silence you are solitary. But you are not alone, and it is not quiet. If I were to put a microphone against your soul right now, if I were to amplify the sound of your inner world onto a loudspeaker, what would we hear? Would we hear a hymn of praise? Would we hear the calm, confident orders of a queen directing her kingdom? Or would we hear an argument? Would we hear you defending yourself against an invisible accuser? Would we hear you replaying a fight from 3 years ago? Would we hear you complaining about the economy, the weather, your boss, your ex? You think these internal whispers are harmless. You think they are just thoughts, like smoke that rises and disappears without a trace. But I am here to tell you that your inner conversations are not smoke, they are bricks. Every single sentence you speak to yourself in the privacy of your own mind is a command issued to the universe. And the universe, being a faithful servant, is building your future with the exact bricks you are handing it. The reason you are stuck, the reason you manifest for 10 minutes at night but see no results in the morning, is because you are building with one hand and destroying with the other. You are praying for wealth but inwardly arguing about the price of gas. You are praying for love but inwardly debating with your partner. The title of today's revelation is The Conversations You Are Having in Secret. Today, we are going to expose the saboteur living in your mind. We are going to learn the discipline of the mental diet, and we are going to learn how to change your internal dialogue from a chaotic noise into a symphony of fulfillment. Let us begin with the mechanics of the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Neville Goddard taught that this word is not just written scripture, it is your inner speech. It is the constant low-level monologue that runs through your head from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Most people are totally unaware of this voice. It is like the hum of a refrigerator. They have tuned it out. But just because you don't hear it doesn't mean it isn't creating. Science tells us that energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. Your inner speech is energy. It is frozen music, and when it passes into the subconscious, it thaws out and becomes the circumstances of your life. This is the terrifying and liberating truth. Your world is nothing more than your inner conversations pushed out. Look at your life right now. Look at the friction you experience with others. If you have a boss who is critical, ask yourself, do I argue with him in my head? Do I construct imaginary conversations where I tell him off? Do I complain about him to myself while I drive to work? Yes,
You do. And then you arrive at work and he criticizes you, and you say, "See, he's a jerk." No, he's a puppet. He is acting out the script you wrote for him in the car. You argued with him in the silence, so he must argue with you in the sound. If you have a partner who is distant, ask yourself, what am I saying to them in the privacy of my mind? Are you accusing them? Why didn't you call? You don't care about me. Are you begging them? Please just love me. These silent conversations are telepathic. They transmit a vibration. Even if you smile to their face, if you are screaming at them in your mind, they will feel the scream. They will feel repelled by you. They will back away, and they won't even know why. You are the author of the drama you hate. This brings us to the Great Leak. Many of you are diligent students. You do your SATs, state akin to sleep. You visualize. You do the techniques we teach on this channel. You spend 15 minutes before bed planting the seed of wealth. But then you wake up, and for the next 16 hours, you go on a mental rampage of poverty. You look at the coffee price and think, that's a ripoff. You look at your car and think, I hope this doesn't break down, I can't afford it. You look at the news and think, the economy is crashing. You spend 15 minutes building the palace and 16 hours burning it down. And then you ask, why isn't the law working? The law is working. It is working perfectly. It is giving you the sum total of your conversations, and the sum total is 99% lack and 1% wealth. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot hold a mental diet of poison all day and expect a dessert of health at night. Neville said, a change of feeling is a change of destiny. But feeling is often the result of inner speech. What you say to yourself triggers how you feel. If you say, I'm so tired of this, you feel heavy. If you say, everything is working out for me, you feel light. Your inner speech is the steering wheel of your mood. If you take your hands off the wheel, the car drifts into the ditch of your old habits. To change your life, you must become a mental dieter. A mental diet is infinitely harder than a food diet. If you eat a donut, you can see it. If you think a negative thought, it is invisible. It feels free, but it is not free. The cost is your future. So how do we stop this? How do we tame the wild animal of the mind? Step 1. The investigation. You must become an investigator of your own silence. For the next 24 hours, try to catch yourself in the act. When you are washing the dishes, listen. Who are you talking to? Are you rehashing an argument from yesterday? Are you rehearsing a stressful meeting for tomorrow? Are you justifying yourself to someone who isn't there? Neville called this justifying the self. We love to justify ourselves. We love to explain why we were right and they were wrong. But every time you justify yourself, you are affirming that you are a victim. Only a victim needs to defend their position. A queen does not explain. She assumes. Catch the thought, and when you catch it, do not judge it. Just notice it. Ah, I am arguing with my mother in my head. Interesting. Step 2. The interruption. Once you catch the negative conversation, you must stop it immediately. Do not let it finish the sentence. Do not say, I'll just finish this thought and then stop. No. Kill it. Cut the wire. You must be ruthless. Neville said to throw the negative thought out of the temple like the money changers. Flip the table. Say to yourself, I do not consent to this conversation. This conversation belongs to the old man. I am the new man. Step 3. The replacement. You cannot have a vacuum in the mind. If you stop one conversation, you must replace it with another, or the old one will come back. You must rewrite the script instantly. If you caught yourself arguing with your boss, replace it with a scene of him congratulating you. In your mind, hear him say, you know what? You were right. Great job. Hear it clearly. Hear your own voice responding, thank you. I appreciate that. Loop this new conversation. Keep looping it until you feel the tension in your stomach dissolve, until you feel the relief of resolution. If you caught yourself worrying about money, replace it with a conversation of gratitude. Hear a friend saying to you, wow, you're doing so well. You seem so abundant lately. Hear yourself replying, I know, money is just flowing to me so easily. It's amazing. This feels fake at first. It feels like lying. But remember, the 3D world is the lie. The imagination is the truth. You are speaking the truth of the 4th dimension until it hardens into the truth of the 3rd dimension. You are creating a new track for the record player. Right now, your mind has a deep groove of negativity worn into it. The needle naturally falls into that groove. By consciously rewriting the conversation, you are carving a new groove. Eventually, the needle will fall into the groove of success automatically. This is the discipline. It is tedious. It is exhausting at first. You will have to correct yourself 100 times a day. You will feel like you are fighting a hydra. You cut off one negative thought and 2 more appear. But you must persist, because the prize is sovereignty. If you are ready to take control of the recording studio, if you are ready to stop broadcasting failure and start broadcasting victory, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a sanctuary for the women who understand that the real work is not physical, but mental. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder to listen to the whispers in your own head. Let me give you a specific technique for specific people. This is the fastest way to change your relationship. Stop talking to them in the 3D and start talking from them in the 4D. If you want a text from him, stop looking at the phone. Go within. Hold a mental conversation where he is telling you exactly what you want to hear. I miss you. I can't stop thinking about you. I'm sorry I was distant. Do not just hear the words, hear the tone. Is it soft? Is it urgent? Is it loving? And, this is crucial, hear your own response. Respond with grace. Respond with love. Do not respond with about time or sarcasm. Respond as the version of you who is securely loved. I miss you too. I love hearing from you. Carry this conversation with you like a secret. While you are walking down the street, replay it, smile to yourself, enjoy the intimacy of the internal dialogue. Do not worry about whether he is actually saying it physically. If you keep the conversation going internally, he will eventually say it externally. He will be compelled. He will pick up the phone and he won't even know why. He'll just feel an urge to tell you he misses you, because you have already established that reality in the realm of cause. But you must be faithful to this new conversation. You cannot have the I love you conversation for 5 minutes and then go back to the you ignored me conversation for the rest of the day. That is spiritual infidelity. You are cheating on your desire with your doubt. Be loyal to the new story. The same applies to your body. What conversations are you having with your body? I'm so fat. I look old. My skin is terrible. Your body is eavesdropping. Your cells are listening to every word, and they are obeying. They are degrading to match your speech. Start a new conversation with your body. Thank you for being so strong. My skin is clearing up every day. I am becoming more radiant. Speak to your body like a loving parent speaks to a child. Encourage it. Praise it. Watch how it responds. Watch the glow return. Your inner speech is the wand of the magician. You have been using it to curse yourself. Now use it to bless yourself. I want you to make a commitment to the mental diet today. I want you to sign a contract with your own soul. Go to the comments below. Don't just watch, act. Write this declaration. I control the conversation. Write it to tell your monkey mind that there is a new sheriff in town. Write it to seal your intention to be the master of your internal world. Imagine what your life would look like in 30 days if every single inner conversation you had was one of success. If every thought was a brick in a palace instead of a bomb in a basement. You would be unrecognizable. Your vibration would be so high, so pure, so magnetic that the world would have no choice but to rush towards you with gifts. The silence is not empty. The silence is pregnant with power. Fill the silence with the noble, the lovely, and the true. Stop the argument. Start the celebration. Pre-play the victory. Talk to yourself as if you are the person you dream of being, and soon you will not have to pretend. You will simply be her. I am she who assumes, and so are you.
You have spent years looking up. You have fallen to your knees on cold floors, folded your hands, and sent your desperate cries into the vastness above. You have begged. You have bargained. You have made promises. Please, you have whispered, if you are there, help me. Change this. Bring him back. Fix this mess. Give me a sign. And in return, you have received silence. The sky remains blue and indifferent. The stars do not rearrange themselves. The voice from the clouds does not speak. And so you are left with a terrifying conclusion. You assume either that you are unworthy, that your faith is too weak, or worst of all, that no one is listening. You feel abandoned. You feel small. You feel like a child screaming into a hurricane, unheard and unseen. I am here to tell you something that may shock you, something that goes against everything you were taught in Sunday school or by well-meaning teachers. The reason you hear nothing but silence, the reason the sky feels empty, is because there is no one up there to hear you. There is no God sitting on a cloud, tallying your sins, deciding if you have suffered enough to deserve a reward. There is no external deity withholding your desire until you beg loud enough. The sky is empty because you are looking in the wrong direction. You are shouting at the reflection, hoping the mirror will speak back. But the mirror has no voice. The mirror can only reflect what stands before it. It is time to stop praying to an empty sky. It is time to meet the God you have been searching for. And to do that, you must stop looking out and start looking in. Neville Goddard taught us the most profound truth hidden within Scripture, that God and the human imagination are one. They are not two separate beings. They are the same creative power functioning at different levels of intensity. Your consciousness, your I am, is the only God there is. When you pray to a God outside of yourself, you are committing the only sin that exists, the sin of separation. You are affirming that there is a you here in need and a God over there with the power to give. And as long as this gap exists in your mind, your prayer cannot be answered, because there is no one to cross the bridge but you. Think of the scripture that says, when you pray, go into your closet, and when you have shut the door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place. For centuries, we thought this meant a physical room. We thought it meant hiding away to beg in private. But Neville revealed the psychological truth. The closet is the mind. The door is the senses. To pray effectively, to pray with power, you must shut the door of your senses. You must deny the evidence of your eyes and ears. You must withdraw your attention from the problem, from the lack, from the empty bed and the empty bank account. You shut the door on the world that tells you it is impossible. And in that silence, in that secret place of imagination, you commune with your Father.
You commune with your own dimensionally larger self. And how do you speak to this self? Do you beg? Do you plead? No, because God is not a withholding tyrant. God is the substance of all things. If you are begging, you are affirming you do not have. Please give me money is an affirmation of poverty. Please bring him back is an affirmation of loneliness. Please heal me is an affirmation of sickness. And because your awareness is God, it says yes to whatever you affirm. You affirm poverty with your begging. Your awareness says, yes, we are poor, and creates more of it. You affirm loneliness with your desperate pleas. Your awareness says, yes, we are lonely, and the silence grows deeper. True prayer is not a request. True prayer is an act of appropriation. It is the act of taking. Scripture tells us, therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Notice the tense. It does not say, believe you will receive them. It says, believe that ye receive them. Present tense. True prayer is the movement of consciousness from the state of I want to the state of I have. It is the deep inner feeling of relief. Imagine you have lost your keys. You are frantic, you are sweating, you are turning the house upside down. This is the state of lack. Now imagine the moment you feel the metal of the keys in your pocket. What happens? The panic vanishes. The frantic energy dissolves. You exhale. You say, thank God I found them. That exhale, that feeling of relief, that is the answered prayer. You did not beg for the keys, you found them. And in the spiritual world, finding is done in the imagination. So, how do we pray if we are not to speak to the sky? We perform the act of assumption. If you desire to be married, you do not ask God for a husband. You go into the silence, you shut the door on your loneliness, and you dare to assume the feeling of being a wife. You wear the imaginary ring, you feel the presence of another in the bed next to you. You hear friends congratulating you. And you do this until the feeling feels natural, until it feels like a fact. And then you exhale. You say, thank you, Father, not because you hope it will happen, but because you know it just did happen in the only place that matters, consciousness. This is the great secret. Prayer is not asking for what you do not have. Prayer is accepting what is already yours. But I know the resistance rising in you. I know the voice of the old self, the one who has been hurt, the one who is scared. It says, but Eleanor, this feels arrogant. Who am I to command God? Who am I to assume I am a queen or wealthy or loved when my life looks like a ruin? This is not arrogance. This is inheritance. Imagine a king has a child. That child is heir to the entire kingdom. If that child sat in the mud outside the palace, begging the guards for a crumb of bread, would the king be pleased? Would the king feel honored? No. The king would be heartbroken. The king would say, why are you begging for what you already own? Stand up, wash your face, put on your robe, come inside and eat. You are the child of the Most High. Your imagination is the divine spark. When you beg, you insult your own nature. You deny your inheritance. To assume your wish fulfilled is the highest form of worship because it acknowledges who you really are. So, why has the sky been empty? Why have your prayers gone unanswered for so years? Because you have been praying to a projection. You have been sending your energy out into a void, waiting for an echo. You have been like a woman holding a radio, screaming at it to play music while refusing to turn the dial. The music is already in the air. The frequency is already broadcasting, but you must tune the receiver. You must tune your own consciousness to the frequency of the wish fulfilled. You cannot stay on the frequency of desperate and expect to hear the music of peace. You cannot stay on the frequency of lacking and expect to hear the broadcast of abundance. You must turn the dial, and you turn the dial by changing your feeling. Feeling is the secret, not emotion, not crying tears of joy, though that can happen, but the feeling of knowing, the feeling of naturalness, the feeling of it is done. Stop waiting for a sign from the sky. The sign is your own feeling. If you feel it is done, it is done. No thunderclap is coming. No burning bush is necessary. The internal shift is the only sign you will ever get, and it is the only sign you need. This requires you to kill the beggar. You must be willing to let the version of you who loves to suffer die. There is a strange addiction we have to our own helplessness. We like feeling small because it relieves us of responsibility. If God is up there, then it is His fault my life is a mess. I am just a victim. But if God is within, if I am the operant power, then there is no one to blame. There is only the self to change. This is terrifying to the victim, but it is liberation to the queen. It means you are not waiting for a rescue party. You are the rescue party. So, let us change the way we pray right now. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Stop looking at the screen. Stop looking at the room around you. Shut the door. Bring to mind the thing you have been begging for, the thing you have been crying to the empty sky about. Maybe it is health. Maybe it is money. Maybe it is love. Stop asking for it. Instead, ask yourself, how would I feel if I already had it? Who would I be if this prayer was already answered? Would you be anxious? No. Would you be begging? No. You would be calm. You would be grateful. You would feel secure. Now, dare to assume that feeling. Step into the shoes of that woman, the woman who has it. Feel the relief wash over you. Feel the tension leave your shoulders. Say to yourself in the silence of your mind, thank you. Thank you that it is done. Do not look up to the sky. Look inward to the heart. Feel the reality of it. It is solid. It is real. It is yours. Hold this feeling. This is the sensation of the seed being planted. You do not plant a seed and then scream at the soil. You plant it, you water it with faith, and you leave it alone. You trust the law of the earth to grow it. You must trust the law of assumption to externalize this seed. When you open your eyes, you are no longer the woman who was begging. You are the woman who has entered the closet, shut the door, and united with her desire. You are the woman who has claimed her inheritance. For the rest of this day, do not look up to the sky for confirmation. Look at your own reaction to life. If you start to worry, catch yourself. Say, no, I have already received it. It is done. If you start to beg, catch yourself. Say, no, I am not a beggar. I am the operant power. Walk in the quiet confidence of the wish fulfilled. The sky may be empty, but your inner world is full. And because your inner world is the only reality, your outer world must soon overflow. This is the path of she who assumes. We do not hope, we do not try, we know. If you are ready to stop begging and start creating, if you are ready to take full responsibility for your own reality, then subscribe to this channel. We are a community of women who have stopped looking up and started looking in. We are the women who have realized that the Savior we were waiting for looks exactly like us in the mirror. Turn on the notifications. Join us in the silence. The silence is not empty. It is pregnant with the power of God. Stop praying to an empty sky. Start speaking from the kingdom within. I am she who assumes. And so are you. have been lied to about the price of money. From the moment you were old enough to understand language, you were programmed with a single devastating equation. Hard work equals wealth. You were taught that money is a reward for struggle. You were taught that it is difficult to get, hard to keep, and that you must trade your time, your sweat, and your sanity to acquire it. Look around you. Look at the people working the hardest. Look at the people breaking their backs in double shifts. The people hustling 18 hours a day. Are they the wealthiest? Rarely. In fact, they are often the ones struggling the most. Now look at the true dynastic wealth. Look at the generational fortunes. There is a silence to their money. There is an ease. They do not chase money. Money seems to have a gravitational pull toward them. Why is this? Is the universe unfair? Is it luck? No. The universe is a precision instrument based on law. The reason you are working hard and staying broke is not because you aren't trying enough. It is because you are broadcasting on the wrong frequency. You are broadcasting the frequency of wanting, and the universe, which is a mirror, reflects that back to you as lacking. The title of today's revelation is How to Enter the Money Frequency. We are going to dismantle the poverty programming that has been passed down through your bloodline for generations. We are going to stop chasing the paper and start becoming the magnet. We are going to explore how to create not just cash, but generational wealth, the kind of wealth that outlives you by changing nothing but your state of consciousness. Let us begin by defining what money actually is. To the outer man, money is paper, digits, gold, or credit. It is a physical object to be hoarded. But to the inner man, to the imagination, money is crystallized energy. It is a symbol of freedom. It is a state of mind. Neville Goddard taught that wealth is a state of consciousness. It is not a number in a bank account. If you took a billionaire and stripped him of all his assets today, took his cash, his companies, his real estate, within 5 years he would be wealthy again. Why? Because he never lost the consciousness of wealth. He knows who he is. If you took a person with a poverty consciousness and gave them $1 million today, as we see with lottery winners, within 5 years they would be broke again. Why? Because their consciousness rejected the money. They felt uncomfortable with it. They didn't feel natural in the state of wealth, so they subconsciously destroyed it to return to their baseline of struggle. This is the money frequency. It is a thermostat setting in your soul. Right now, your thermostat is set to a specific number. Maybe it is just enough to survive. Maybe it is always in debt. Maybe it is comfortable but stagnant. No matter how hard you hustle, no matter how many side hustles you start, you will always revert to your thermostat setting. You cannot outperform your own self-concept. To change the bank balance, we must reset the thermostat. We must tune the radio of your mind from the static of scarcity FM to the clear broadcast of abundance FM. But how? The first step is to stop creating noise. Desperation is noise. Worry is noise. Checking your bank app 5 times a day with a knot in your stomach is noise. Money likes silence. Have you ever noticed that when you desperately need money, it runs away? But the moment you let go, the moment you stop caring, a check arrives in the mail? This is because desire combined with fear creates a repelling force. When you are desperate, you are screaming to the universe, "I do not have it." And the law of assumption says, "Okay, you do not have it, so be it." To enter the money frequency, you must learn to assume the feeling of wealth before the evidence appears. You must occupy the state of the heir. Imagine you are the heir to a massive royal fortune. You haven't received the money yet. It is in a trust fund that unlocks when you turn 30. Do you worry about rent? No. Do you envy your friends who have a few extra dollars? No. Do you hustle and panic? No. You walk with a quiet confidence. You enter a room knowing that your future is secured. You look at price tags with indifference, knowing that soon they will be irrelevant. That specific feeling, that inner knowing, that lack of anxiety, that quiet security is the frequency of wealth. Neville said, you must walk in the assumption that you are already the person you want to be. If you want to be wealthy, you must ask yourself, how would I feel right now if I had $10 million in the bank? Would you feel manic excitement? No, you would feel relief. You would feel secure. You would feel stable. You would walk slower. You would breathe deeper. There is a specific texture to the state of wealth. It feels like high thread count sheets. It feels like the heavy silence of a luxury car door closing. It feels like safety. Most people try to visualize money, but they visualize it with greed. They visualize swimming in coins like a cartoon character. This is not the frequency of wealth. This is the frequency of I want. True wealth is natural. It is boring in the best way. It is just a fact of life. Of course I can afford that. You need to normalize abundance in your imagination until it feels as natural as breathing air. This brings us to the concept of generational wealth. We are not just talking about paying rent. We are talking about breaking a lineage of poverty. Many of you come from lines of ancestors who struggled. You saw your parents worry. You heard the phrases, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. These phrases are spells. They are black magic curses cast upon your subconscious mind. They planted the seed that money is scarce and evil. To create generational wealth, you must be the cycle breaker. You must revise the history of your bloodline. You must boldly assume that I am the one who changes everything. This requires a radical change in your inner conversations. What do you say to yourself about money when no one is listening? Do you say, it's too expensive? Do you say, I'll never get ahead? Every time you say these things, you are cementing the poverty state. You must become a guardian at the gate of your mind. When you see a luxury car, do not say, I wish I had that. Say, that is my standard. That is beautiful. Thank you for showing me what is mine. When you pay a bill, do not resent the money leaving. Bless the money. Say, thank you that I have the ability to pay this. There is always more where that came from. Turn the transaction into an act of gratitude, not an act of loss. If you are ready to break this cycle, if you are ready to be the matriarch of a new lineage of abundance, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a sanctuary for the woman who seeks substance over spectacle. We are building a community of women who know that their inner world is the mint where their coin is forged. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a daily reminder that you are not here to struggle. You are here to reign. Now, let us get practical. How do we trigger this shift tonight? Neville gave us a powerful technique. He called it the feeling of the ring or the feeling of the check. I want to teach you the inner wallet technique. This is a game you play in your imagination, but it has devastatingly powerful results in the 3D world. Imagine that you have a wallet or a purse. In your imagination, fill that wallet with large denomination bills, or imagine a black limitless credit card in the slot. Now, as you walk through your day, physically walking down the street or through the grocery store, feel the weight of that wallet. Feel the inner knowing that you could buy anything you see. Look at the expensive items, the organic food, the designer clothes, the first-class tickets, and mentally buy them. Don't look at the price tag and shrink. Look at the item and say, I can have that. I take that. You don't have to physically buy it. You have to mentally appropriate it. Exercise your imagination. Spend the imaginary money. Neville said, use your imagination as you would a checkbook. Spend extravagantly in your mind. Why does this work? Because it breaks the paralysis of lack. It trains your subconscious to get used to the feeling of spending, of having, of circulating. It neutralizes the fear of the price tag. And as you do this, as you walk around with the secret feeling of a millionaire, the world will begin to shift. You will find deals, you will get unexpected checks, you will get raises, ideas for businesses will drop into your head. The bridge of incidents will appear to carry you to the wealth you have assumed. But you must be consistent. You cannot be a millionaire in your imagination for 10 minutes and then go back to complaining about gas prices for the rest of the day. That is serving two masters. You must be loyal to the unseen reality. You must persist in the assumption that I am wealthy even when your senses deny it, especially when your senses deny it. That is the test. That is the fire that forges the gold. When the bill comes and the panic rises, that is your moment of power. Do you collapse into the old story, or do you stand firm in your new identity? Do you say, this is just a shadow of the past, my reality is abundance? If you can hold the feeling of wealth in the face of lack, the lack must vanish. It has no choice. Darkness cannot exist where the light stands firm. I want you to make a declaration of this new frequency right now. I want you to signal to your subconscious that the old story of struggle is finished. Go to the comments below. Write, I am the source of my abundance. Write it to remind yourself that the money does not come from the job. It does not come from the client. It does not come from the husband. It comes from you. Your consciousness is the source. The job is just the channel. Never worship the channel. Always worship the source. Let's talk about the Sabbath of money. There comes a point in your manifestation where you stop worrying completely. You reach a state of inner conviction. You just know it is done. You stop checking the bank app every hour. You stop asking when. You feel a deep, settling peace. This is the Sabbath. This is the moment the seed has taken root. When you reach this state, do not force yourself to do more techniques. Do not force yourself to visualize more. Rest. Enjoy your life. Prepare your home for the wealth. Clean your house. Organize your finances. Act as if you are expecting a royal guest. Because you are. You are expecting the externalization of your own I am. Generational wealth is not about hoarding. It is about flow. It is about realizing that God is a flowing river of substance and you are standing in the middle of it. The only way to stop the flow is to pinch the hose with fear. Open the hose. Give freely, even if it is just a smile or a kind word. Spend freely in your mind. Live with an open hand, not a clenched fist. A clenched fist cannot receive. An open hand is ready. There is a beautiful concept Neville shared about the phrase, I have a lavish, steady, dependable income, consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. This affirmation covers everything. Lavish means more than enough. Steady means it's not a roller coaster. Dependable means you can relax. Integrity and mutual benefit means you are not hurting anyone, you are adding value to the world. Repeat this to yourself as you fall asleep. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income. Let the words lull you into the state of relief. Remember, you are not creating wealth to prove your worth. You are already worthy. You are God asleep, dreaming you are a human. You are creating wealth because it's fun, because it's freedom, because it allows you to express your divinity more fully. Poverty is not spiritual. Poverty is a restriction of the divine nature. God is abundance. Look at nature. Look at the leaves on the trees, the stars in the sky. God never creates just enough. God creates a surplus. Wasteful, beautiful, magnificent surplus. That is your nature. So stop playing small. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Your desire for wealth is God's desire to express more life through you. Honor that desire. Step into the frequency. Tonight, do not go to sleep as the woman who is struggling to make ends meet. That woman is dead. She belongs to the past. Go to sleep as the matriarch. Go to sleep as the woman who has established a legacy of security for her children and her children's children. Feel the heavy, warm quilt of financial security wrapped around you. Sleep in that security and wake up to a world that has no choice but to lay its treasures at your feet. You are the alchemist. You turn the lead of your thoughts into the gold of your life. The frequency is broadcasting now. Turn the dial, tune in, and never, ever tune back out. I am she who assumes, and so are you.
There is a specific vibration that repels love faster than any word you could ever speak. It is a silent frequency that screams louder than a siren. It is the frequency of, please choose me. You think you are hiding it. You think that if you dress perfectly, if you text back at the right time, if you play the cool girl or the supportive partner, he won't notice the desperate hunger underneath. But he feels it. He feels it in the way you wait for his validation. He feels it in the way you over-explain yourself. He feels it in the way you collapse when he pulls away. And because the universe is a mirror, the more you fear losing him, the more he is compelled to back away. The more you try to hold water in a clenched fist, the faster it slips through your fingers. You have clicked on this video because you want to know how to keep him. You want to know how to be the one he cannot live without. You want to be the woman he is afraid to lose. But here is the paradox that will change your life. You cannot be the woman he is afraid to lose until you stop being the woman who is afraid to lose him. As long as you are the one gripping the rope, he has no choice but to be the one pulling against it. To make him afraid of losing you, you must become so anchored in your own worth, so filled with your own divine substance, that the idea of you chasing anyone becomes laughable. The title of today's deep dive is How to Be the Woman He is Afraid to Lose. We're not going to talk about manipulation tactics. We're not going to talk about playing hard to get. Games are for children. We are going to talk about the law of assumption. We are going to talk about shifting your self-concept from the beggar to the prize. We are going to explore the mechanics of energetic magnetism that force the world and the specific person in it to reorganize themselves around your throne. Let us begin by dismantling the pedestal. In the architecture of your mind, you have built a temple. And in the center of that temple, you have placed a man. You watch his social media like a devotee reading scripture. You analyze his texts like an archaeologist studying ancient runes. You obsess over his mood. Why did he take 3 hours to reply? What did he mean by that? Is he seeing someone else? Do you see what you have done? You have made him the sun, and you have made yourself the planet that orbits him. You have made him the cause and yourself the effect. And in the laws of physics and metaphysics, the sun does not chase the planet chases the sun. The sun is the heavy center of gravity. When you put a man on a pedestal, he has no choice but to look down on you. It is a matter of perspective, and deeper than that, it is repulsive. I don't mean repulsive as an insult, I mean it electromagnetically. When you project the energy of, you are the prize, I'm the lucky one to be here, you are creating a vacuum of worthiness. You are telling the universe, I am not enough on my own, I need him to complete me. And the universe, which is a faithful mirror, reflects that lack back to you in the form of his distance. He pulls away not because he is mean, but because he literally cannot find footing in your energy. There is no solid ground in you, only a desperate hole that wants to be filled. A man cannot fall in love with a vacuum. He falls in love with a substance. He falls in love with a woman who is full of herself, not in arrogance, but in the divine sense. A woman who is full of her I am. So how do we flip the dynamic? How do we take him off the pedestal and put ourselves back on the throne? We use the law of assumption to change the core story. Neville Goddard taught, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. He did not say change your boyfriend, he said change your conception of yourself. Right now, your conception of yourself in relationships might be, I'm the one who gets left. I'm the one who has to work hard for love. I'm the one who is always a little bit too much or not enough. As long as this is your script, the actors on your stage, including him, must play the role of the person who leaves you, or makes you work, or finds you unworthy. They have no free will in your reality to do otherwise. You are the operant power. You wrote the play. To become the woman he is afraid to lose, you must rewrite the character description of you. You must assume the state of the irreplaceable woman. What does the irreplaceable woman feel like? Does she check her phone every 5 minutes? No, she assumes that of course he will text, and if he doesn't, she has a kingdom to rule anyway. Does she obsess over competition? No, she knows there is no competition. She is the only one of her kind. Does she beg for time? No, she grants audience. This is a radical shift. It requires you to kill the cool girl. The cool girl is a fake. She pretends not to care, but inside she is dying. That is repression, not power. The sovereign woman actually does not worry because she knows who she is. I want you to think about the most valuable diamond in the world, the hope diamond. Does the hope diamond worry that no one will want it? Does the hope diamond run after buyers saying, please look how shiny I am, please buy me? No, it sits in a glass case, guarded under a spotlight. It just is. Its value is intrinsic. It does not need to do anything to prove it. People travel across the world just to look at it. People dream about it. Why? Because it rests in the assumption of its own value. You are the diamond, but you have been acting like the costume jewelry that is on sale in the bargain bin, begging to be picked up. If you are ready to get out of the bargain bin, if you are ready to be encased in the glass of your own high standards, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are building a sanctuary for the women who know that they are the prize. We are done with the chasing. We are done with the begging. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder to straighten your crown every single day. Now, let us get into the practical mechanics. How do we shift this energy? We have to look at your inner conversations. Neville Goddard taught that our inner speech causes our outer reality. What are you saying to him in your head? Be honest. Are you arguing with him? Why didn't you call? You always do this. Are you pleading with him? Please just see how much I love you. Are you defending yourself to him? Every time you have these mental conversations, you are cementing the dynamic of separation and conflict. You are practicing the feeling of being unwanted, and you are broadcasting that feeling directly into his subconscious mind. Thought transmission is real. In the realm of consciousness, there are no walls. Everyone is you pushed out. When you are anxiously arguing with him in your head, he feels it. He feels a sudden wave of irritation towards you. He doesn't know why. He just feels mentally suffocating you, energetically, even if you haven't said a word physically. He avoids you because you are mentally suffocating him. To become the woman he is afraid to lose, you must change the conversation. You must start hearing him say what you want to hear. In your imagination, hear him say, "I can't believe how lucky I am to be with you. You are the only woman I see. I am terrified of losing you because you are everything to me." Hear it until you feel the thrill of it. Loop it. When you catch yourself arguing with him in your mind, stop, rewind, replace the argument with adoration. No, he adores me. He is constantly thinking about me. At first, your logical mind will say, "That's a lie. He's ignoring me." But remember, the 3D world is just an echo. It is the past. The imaginal act is the present truth. If you persist in hearing him adore you, if you persist in feeling cherished, the echo must change. He will begin to feel a compulsion to reach out. He will begin to feel a sweetness when he thinks of you. He will wonder why you suddenly feel so magnetic. He will be drawn to you like a moth to a flame because you have stopped blowing the flame out with your anxiety. But there is a second layer to this. You must be willing to lose him. I know this sounds terrifying, but I want him. Why would I be willing to lose him? Because as long as you are terrified of losing him, you are enslaved by him. Fear of loss is the energy of poverty. When you are afraid to lose something, you are affirming that you are not the source of your own happiness. You are affirming that your happiness is in his pocket and he can walk away with it. This gives him all the power. The woman he is afraid to lose is the woman who knows she will be perfectly fine without him. Not because she doesn't love him, but because she loves herself more. She knows that she is the operant power. She knows that she creates love. She knows that if he walks away, it is his loss, not hers, because she is the one who generates the magic. When you reach the state of, "I desire you, but I do not need you to breathe," you become dangerous. You become intoxicating because suddenly there is no pressure on him. The hook is out of his mouth. He is free. And paradoxically, when you set someone free, they usually run straight back to you. Why? Because people want to be around the source of power. When you need him, you are a vampire sucking his energy. When you don't need him, you are a sun radiating energy. Everyone wants to be near the sun. This is the state of the queen. A queen has a kingdom. She has a life. She has a purpose. She has a connection to God. A queen invites a king to join her, but she does not collapse if he is busy. She does not wait by the phone. If you are waiting, you are not living. And if you are not living, you are not attractive. Ask yourself, what would I be doing right now if I knew he was obsessed with me? Would you be staring at his last seen status on WhatsApp? No, you would be reading a book. You would be doing a face mask. You would be sleeping peacefully. You would be laughing with friends. You would be engaging with your own life. So do that. Not as a manipulation to get him back, but as a way to enter the state of the wish fulfilled. When you engage with your own life, you signal to the universe, "I am full, I am whole, I am taken care of." And the universe responds by bringing you more fullness. There is a concept in Neville's teachings called "everyone is you pushed out," EYPO. It means that people show up in your reality as mirrors of your own internal state. If you feel unchosen, he will not choose you. If you feel chosen, he has to choose you. Let me tell you about a woman named Maya. Maya was in a situationship for 3 years. The man would come and go. He would give her breadcrumbs of affection, then disappear for weeks. Maya spent those 3 years in a state of constant anxiety. She analyzed every text. She tried to be the perfect, low-maintenance, cool girl. She was terrified that if she asked for more, he would leave. She was projecting, "I am afraid to lose you." And he reflected,
I can treat you however I want because you aren't going anywhere. Then Maya found the law. She realized she was the cause. She stopped texting him. She stopped checking his social media. She went within. She started looping a scene where he was telling her, "I can't believe I wasted so much time. I want to marry you." She started sleeping in the feeling of being a wife. But more importantly, she started treating herself like a wife. She bought herself flowers. She cooked herself nice dinners. She stopped waiting. She reached a point where she honestly felt, "I am such a catch. If he doesn't see it, it is his tragedy." 3 weeks later, he showed up at her door, shaking. He said, "I don't know what happened. I just woke up and felt like I was losing the best thing that ever happened to me." He proposed 2 months later. Why? Because she stopped being afraid to lose him and started being the woman he couldn't afford to lose. She shifted the center of gravity from him back to herself. You have the power to do this, but you must be ruthless with your mental diet. You cannot afford one single thought of victimhood. You cannot afford one single conversation with your girlfriend where you complain about men. Men are trash. He is so annoying. Why does this always happen? Delete these sentences from your vocabulary. Every time you say them, you are writing the script for him to be trash. Start saying, "I am the prize. I am chosen. Love is easy for me. I am the only one for him. He is obsessed with my energy." Say it until you believe it. Say it until you feel the shift in your stomach, that drop from anxiety to relief. I want you to claim this identity right now. I want you to burn the bridge to the old version of you, the one who begged for crumbs. Go to the comments below. Write this declaration. I am the prize. I am chosen. Seal it. Let the universe know the beggar has left the building and the queen has taken the throne. Remember, love is not something you go out and find. Love is something you become. Your specific person is just a messenger delivering the news of who you are. If you don't like the news, don't shoot the messenger. Change the sender. Change yourself. When you truly love yourself, when you truly see yourself as the divine, radiant, irresistible being that you are, the world will have no choice but to agree with you. He will look at you and see the only water in the desert. He will look at you and see home. Stop chasing. The prize never chases. The prize sits still and waits to be won. Sit still, know your worth, and watch them come running. I am she who assumes, and so are you.
Have you ever wondered why some women seem to have a gravitational field? They walk into a room and heads turn. They speak and people lean in. They don't beg for attention. Attention seems to cling to them like iron filings to a magnet. You look at them and you are confused. They are not always the ones with the perfect symmetry. They are not always the ones with the most expensive clothes or the most flawless skin. In fact, objectively, they might be quite ordinary. But they have it. That indescribable, intoxicating quality that makes people want to be near them, want to please them, want to love them. And then there is the other side. The woman who is technically perfect. She has done the diet, bought the dress, contoured her face to mathematical precision. She tries so hard, and yet she is invisible. Or worse, she is repellent. People feel drained by her. They pull away. She stands in the corner of the party, beautiful and perfectly groomed, wondering why she feels so alone. What is the difference? Is it luck? Is it pheromones? Is it confidence? It is none of those things. It is the raw physics of consciousness. It is the law of assumption operating at the level of identity. The title of today's deep dive is How to Become Magnetic.
We are not going to talk about makeup, posture, or seduction techniques. Those are masks. We are going to talk about the light behind the mask. We are going to explore the science of aura, how your internal state creates a literal broadcast frequency that dictates how the world sees you, treats you, and responds to you. We're going to turn you from a person who chases the spotlight into a person who is the sun. Let us begin by redefining beauty. You have been taught that beauty is a physical arrangement of atoms. You think it is about the shape of your nose, the size of your waist, the clarity of your skin. You spend hours in front of the mirror, critiquing, fixing, hiding. You think, if I fix this flaw, then I will be magnetic, then they will love me. But Neville Goddard taught us a radical truth. The world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself. Your physical body is just the glass of the light bulb. Your self-concept, your assumption of who you are, is the filament inside. If the filament is dead, it doesn't matter how polished the glass is. The bulb is dark. But if the filament is blazing with electricity, the glass glows, it becomes blinding, it becomes warm. You can't take your eyes off of it. Magnetism is not about how you look, it is about how you feel about who you are. It is the atmosphere you carry with you. Neville called this the atmosphere of self. He said that every person carries a mental atmosphere, and this atmosphere is more distinct than their physical features. When you walk into a room, your atmosphere enters before your body does. People feel you before they see you. And if your internal atmosphere is thick with insecurity, neediness, and self-criticism, people will subconsciously recoil. They won't know why. They will just feel off. They will feel a subtle repulsion. But if your internal atmosphere is thick with self-adoration, peace, and the knowing of your own divinity, people will be drawn in. They will feel warmed. They will feel safer near you than anywhere else. So the question is not, how do I look? The question is, what am I broadcasting? Most people are broadcasting a signal of lack. I hope they like me. Am I dressed okay? I feel fat today. I hope he notices me. This signal is low-frequency static. It creates a chaotic aura. It tells the world, I am not valuable. Please validate me. And the world, obeying the law of assumption, it treats you as someone of low value. It ignores you. It interrupts you. It overlooks you. To become magnetic, you must change the broadcast. You must move from the state of seeking validation to the state of granting audience. This is the shift from the pauper to the queen. A queen does not walk into a throne room wondering if the subjects like her outfit. She assumes they are honored by her presence. She does not try to impress. She rests in the knowledge that she is the impression. This brings us to the mechanics of the glow-up. Real transformation is never physical first. It is energetic first. Have you ever noticed that when you fall in love, or when you get a massive promotion, or when you are having the best day of your life, you actually look different? Your skin glows, your eyes are brighter, you walk taller. You didn't change your bone structure, you changed your state. The joy, the relief, the power inside you literally rearranged the muscles of your face and the posture of your body. Now, imagine if you could sustain that state, not just when good things happen, but all the time. Imagine if you could live in the state of I am the most captivating woman in the world as a default setting. Your physical body would permanently shift to match that assumption. People would start asking you, what are you doing? You look different. You look radiant. And you would know the secret. You didn't buy a new cream. You bought a new concept of self. If you are ready to stop fixing the glass and start lighting the filament, if you are ready to become the woman who creates the atmosphere of the room just by entering it, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a sanctuary for the women who know true power is internal. We are done with the surface level advice. We are going to the root. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be a reminder to check your broadcast every single morning. So, how do we do this? How do we engineer this aura? We have to look at your inner mirror. Most of you have a very cruel relationship with your reflection. You look in the mirror and your first thought is a criticism. Ugh, those lines. I look tired. I need to lose 10 pounds. I hope he notices me. Every time you do this, you are cursing yourself. You are commanding your subconscious mind, make me tired, make me old, make me unworthy. And your subconscious, which is the builder of the body, says, your wish is my command, and it hardens those flaws into your reality. The first step to magnetism is a strict mental diet regarding your appearance and your presence. You must never, ever speak ill of yourself again, not in the mirror and not in your mind. When you look in the mirror, you must learn to see what you want to see until it is what you actually see. Neville taught the technique of revision. If you catch a glimpse of yourself and you don't like it, stop. Close your eyes. Revise the image. See yourself glowing. See yourself radiant. Hear a stranger's voice in your mind saying, "Wow, she is stunning." Feel the thrill of that compliment. Then open your eyes. You have just overwritten the bad code with good code. You must begin to assume the feeling of beauty. What does beauty feel like? It doesn't feel like vanity. Vanity is insecurity masquerading as pride. True beauty feels like ease. It feels like having nothing to prove. It feels like a soft, warm light emanating from your chest. It feels like being comfortable in your own skin. I want you to try an exercise called the golden sheath. Tonight, before you go to sleep, or even right now as you listen, imagine that your physical body is encased in a golden liquid light. Imagine that this light is the essence of pure divine love. Feel it touching your skin. Feel it soaking into your pores. Assume that this light is magnetic. Assume that it is irresistible. Say to yourself, I am the light of the world. Everyone who looks at me sees the light. Walk through your day wearing this imaginary garment. When you walk down the street, imagine that you are leaving a trail of gold dust behind you. Imagine that people turn their heads because they feel the warmth of your sun. Do not look for confirmation. Do not check to see if they are looking. The sun does not check to see if the flowers are opening. The sun just shines. The flowers open because they have no choice. When you hold this assumption, I am magnetic, the 3D world will begin to reflect it in strange and wonderful ways. Strangers will smile at you. Doors will be held open. You will get free coffee. The specific person you have been chasing will suddenly start chasing you. Why? Because everyone wants to be near the source of life. When you are in a state of self-criticism, you are energy dead. You are a black hole sucking energy from others. When you are in a state of self-adoration, the divine kind, you are energy alive. You are a fountain overflowing, and people are thirsty. They will flock to you because your presence feeds them. Your presence makes them feel good. That is the secret of charisma. Charisma is not about being loud. Charisma is about having so much inner overflow that it spills onto everyone around you. Let's talk about the specific person in this context. Many of you want to be magnetic to one specific man or woman. You are trying to attract him with texts, with photos, with logic. Stop. You attract him by becoming the version of yourself that he is naturally drawn to. He is not drawn to the version of you who is waiting by the phone. That version has a gray, sticky aura of need. He is drawn to the version of you who is on the pedestal. In your imagination, you must crown yourself. Neville often spoke of the crown of the Elohim. Imagine a heavy, invisible weight on your head, the weight of a crown of diamonds. How would you hold your head if you were wearing a crown of diamonds? You would hold it high. You would move slower. You would not look down. This tiny physical shift changes your entire vibration. When you enter the state of queen, the king must appear. You cannot attract a king while you are acting like a peasant who is begging for crumbs of affection. Magneticism is a standard you set for yourself. It is a boundary. It says, I am the prize. I am the destination. I do not chase. I am chased. But you cannot just say the words. You have to occupy the state. You have to feel it in your body. When you sit, sit like the prize. When you eat, eat like the prize. When you are alone, treat yourself like the most important guest in your house. Do you drink water out of a plastic cup, or do you pour it into a glass? Do you wear old, torn clothes at home, or do you wear something that makes you feel lovely? These tiny choices are signals to your subconscious mind. They tell your subconscious, I am worthy of beauty, and the subconscious responds by generating more beauty in your outer world. There is a metaphysical truth that the inner man controls the outer man. If the inner you feels dull, the outer you will look dull, no matter how much highlighter you put on your cheekbones. If the inner you feels electric, the outer you will look electric, even in sweatpants. This is the glow-up that no one talks about because you can't buy it in a bottle. You have to forge it in the fire of your own imagination. I want you to make a commitment to your own radiance today. I want you to stop agreeing with the lie that you are average. There is nothing average about you. You are a sleeping God. You are the operant power of the universe wearing a human suit. How can God be plain? How can God be unnoticed? It is impossible. You have just been dimming your light to fit in. Stop dimming it. Turn the dial all the way up. Go to the comments below. Let us set the intention for this new state of being. Write, I am magnetic. I am the sun. Write it to remind yourself that you are the center of your universe, not a satellite orbiting someone else. From this moment on, when you walk into a room, assume that the atmosphere changes. Assume that you bring the light. Assume that everyone is secretly admiring you. Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If your wish is to be the most magnetic woman in the room, assume you already are. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? You are feeling amused. You are feeling relaxed. You are feeling a secret delight in your own power. Hold that feeling. Do not let the 3D world tell you otherwise. If someone is rude to you, do not accept it. Say to yourself, they must be having a bad day because everyone loves me. Refuse to accept any evidence to the contrary. Persist in the assumption of your own magnificence. And as you persist, the mirror will clear. The world will wash away the old reflection of the invisible girl and replace it with the dazzling reflection of the sovereign woman. You do not need to find your light. You are the light. You just need to clean the glass of the bulb. Clean it with your self-talk. Clean it with your revision. Clean it with your assumption. You are here to shine. You are here to draw all good things unto you. The universe is waiting to yield to your gravity. Let it. I am she who assumes. And so are you. There is a corpse in the room. You cannot see it with your physical eyes, but you can feel its weight. You carry it on your back when you walk into work. You drag it into your relationships. You let it sleep in your bed at night, whispering its limited stories into your ear. It is heavy. It is rotting. It is suffocating you. That corpse is the old you. You have clicked on this video because you want to change. You want the glow up. You want the new life, the new money, the new love. But you have been trying to achieve a new life while keeping the old self on life support. You have been trying to put a diamond necklace on a skeleton and call it alive. You do not need a makeover. You do not need self-improvement. Improvement implies that the thing you are improving is worth keeping.
But the version of you that is addicted to struggle, the version of you that identifies as a victim, the version of you that begs for love, that version does not need to be improved. It needs to die. This sounds violent, it sounds radical, but the caterpillar does not improve itself to become a butterfly. It dissolves. It completely deconstructs its old structure to build something entirely new. The title of today's revelation is How to Reinvent Yourself Completely. We are not going to talk about habits or planners. We are going to talk about the metaphysical act of suicide and resurrection. We are going to learn how to perform the funeral for the person you used to be so that the person you are destined to be can finally take a breath. Let us begin with the concept of the old man. Neville Goddard, interpreting the scriptures, spoke often of putting off the old man and putting on the new man. This is not about age or gender. It is about identity. Your identity is a garment. It is a suit of clothes that your consciousness, your I am, is currently wearing. Right now, you are wearing a suit called the struggling one. This suit has pockets filled with memories of failure. It has a fabric woven of doubts. It has a specific posture, shoulders slumped, eyes downcast. You have worn this suit so long that you think it is your skin. You say, I am anxious or I am unlucky, as if these are biological facts. They are not facts. They are just the style of the suit you are wearing. The problem is, you want a new life, you want to be wealthy, you want to be adored, so you try to sew a patch of wealth onto the suit of poverty. You try to pin a badge of love on the lapel of loneliness, and it tears. Scripture warns us, no man putteth a piece of new cloth unto an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it up taketh from the garment, and the rent is made worse. You cannot put new wine into old wineskins. To reinvent yourself, you must be willing to get naked. You must be willing to strip off the old identity completely, to let it fall to the floor and walk away from it, naked and unafraid, into the closet of God to choose a new robe. Why is this so hard? Why do we cling to the old self even when it hurts us? Because the old self is familiar. The human mind prizes familiarity over happiness. You would rather be comfortable in your misery than terrified in your freedom. The old self has a gravity. It has momentum. Every time you complain to a friend, you are feeding the old self. Every time you replay a trauma, you are giving the old self CPR. Every time you check your ex's social media, you are embalming the old self to keep it fresh. To reinvent yourself, you must commit to a psychological death. Neville said, I die daily. This means withdrawing your attention, your blood life, from the old patterns. Attention is the blood of the universe. Whatever you give your attention to lives. Whatever you withdraw your attention from dies. If you stop feeding the story of I am a victim, the story must starve. It will wither. It will eventually turn to dust and blow away. But you must be ruthless. You cannot feed it on weekends. You cannot feed it when you are tired. You must let it die. This brings us to the void. There is a terrifying moment in the process of reinvention. It is the space between the trapeze bars. You have let go of the old self, but you have not yet caught the new self. You feel empty. You feel like you don't know who you are anymore. The old things don't interest you, but the new things haven't arrived. This is the void. Most people panic here. They scramble back to the old self because feeling something is better than feeling nothing. Do not panic. The void is the womb of creation. The void is where God lives. When you feel empty, celebrate. It means you have successfully cleared the building site. Now you can build the palace. If you are ready to enter this void, if you are ready to let go of the old you so the true you can rise, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a sanctuary of the phoenix spirits. We are the women who are not afraid of the fire because we know we are the gold that survives it. Turn on the notification bell. Let it be the trumpet call of your own resurrection. So, how do we perform this death? How do we shift identities?
We use the power of the I am. Your name is I am. Whatever you attach to I am becomes your fate. The old man is a bundle of I ams. I am tired. I am broke. I am unseen. To kill the old man, you must stop saying his name. You must stop identifying with him. I want you to imagine that the old you is a separate person. Give her a name if you have to. Visualize her. See her standing in front of you. Look at her posture. Look at the clothes she is wearing. Look at the sadness in her eyes. Have compassion for her. She survived a lot. She did her best to protect you. But her watch is over. Thank her. Bow to her, and then in your imagination, see her dissolve into mist. See her turn into golden dust and scatter into the wind. She is gone. Now, who is left? Just you, the formless, faceless awareness, the pure I am. You are now free to choose a new costume. Construct the new you. Who is she? Don't just think about what she has. Think about who she is. How does she walk? Does she walk with a rush, always late, always anxious? Or does she walk with a slow, regal cadence? How does she speak? Does she explain herself? Does she apologize for taking up space? Or does she speak with brevity and authority? How does she react to bad news? Does she collapse? Or does she raise an eyebrow and say, "This too shall pass"? You must define this character with the precision of a novelist, and then you must step into her skin. Neville called this wearing the feeling. This is not faking it until you make it. Faking it is an act of the exterior. This is assuming it until you become it. Assuming is an act of the interior. When you assume the state of the new you are not pretending, you are channeling. You are allowing the version of you that already exists in the fourth dimension to overlay your physical body in the third dimension. You will know you have shifted when your reactions change. Reactions are the telltale sign of who you are. If you get a parking ticket and your immediate reaction is, "Why me? I'm so broke," you are still wearing the old man's suit. If you get a parking ticket and your immediate reaction is, "How annoying, but I can pay this easily," you have stepped into the wealthy woman's suit. Watch your reactions. They are the mirror showing you which garment you are wearing. But be warned, the old man does not go quietly. In psychology, this is called an extinction burst. When you try to stop a behavior, it often gets worse right before it stops. It fights for survival. When you decide to reinvent yourself as loved, your ego might throw a tantrum. You might suddenly feel lonelier than ever. Your ex might text you something mean. The 3D world might flare up. This is not a sign of failure. This is a sign of success. It is the old man thrashing around in his death throes. Do not engage. Do not be afraid. Stand still. Let the storm rage. It is just the echo of the past dying. If you react, you revive him. If you remain indifferent, he disappears. We must talk about Lot's wife. In the Bible, Lot and his family are told to leave the city of Sodom, the old state, and not look back. Lot's wife looks back, and she is turned into a pillar of salt. What is salt? It is a preservative. When you look back at your past, when you analyze it, talk about it, regret it, you preserve it. You turn the past into a pillar of salt that you are tied to. To reinvent yourself, you must have the discipline to never look back. Do not tell the story of your hard life anymore. Do not tell the story of your bad childhood anymore. Do not tell the story of your toxic ex anymore. Those stories belong to a dead woman. Why are you carrying her biography? Start telling the new story. If someone asks about your past, keep it brief. Pivot to the future. I learned a lot, but I am in such a beautiful place now. Starve the old story of oxygen. I want you to make a declaration of your new identity right now. I want you to plant the flag of the new you in the soil of this reality. Go to the comments below. Write, "I am the phoenix. I rise." Write it to signify that the fire did not kill you, it only burned away the things that were not you. The old you is ash, the new you is rising. This reinvention requires you to be willing to be misunderstood. The people in your life, your family, your old friends, they know the old you. They are comfortable with the old you. When you start changing, they might not like it. They might say, you've changed. They might say, you're acting grand. They might try to pull you back into the old dynamic. This is the crab bucket effect. Do not be angry with them. They are just reacting to the disruption in the script. But do not lower yourself to comfort them. If you stay in your new state, they will either rise to meet you or they will fall away. Let them fall. You cannot drag people into your new timeline. You can only go there and hold the door open for those who want to join you. Your loyalty must be to your vision, not to your history. Neville said, dare to assume. It takes daring, it takes audacity, it takes brazen impudence to look in the mirror, see a broken person and say, I am whole, I am wealthy, I am divine. But this impudence is the only thing that moves mountains. I want you to try an exercise this week. It is called the new name. In the Bible, when someone had a spiritual transformation, God gave them a new name. Abram became Abraham. Jacob became Israel. You don't have to legally change your name unless you want to, but give yourself a secret title. The Queen, the Sovereign, the Millionaire, the Beloved. Wear this title in your mind. When you walk down the street, repeat it to yourself. I am the Sovereign. I am the Sovereign. Let this new name dictate how you interact with the world. Would the sovereign get into a petty argument on Facebook? No. Would the sovereign eat garbage food? No. Would the sovereign chase a man who doesn't reply? Never. Let the title govern the behavior. You are an artist, and your life is the canvas. You have painted a picture that you don't like. Most people spend their lives trying to fix the painting with tiny brushes. I am asking you to throw a bucket of white paint over the whole thing. Start over. Paint something bold. Paint something vibrant. Paint something that scares you a little. You have the brush. You have the paint. You have the light. The past is a memory. The future is an assumption. The present is the point of power. And in this present moment, you can be anyone you choose to be. The corpse of the old man is heavy. Put him down. Step over the body. Walk out the door. The world is waiting to meet the person you have been hiding all along. I am she who assumes. And so are you.